children of the night, but it's the only way of life. It's black holes pulling me inside of this black heart, the black soul underneath this black, black sky. Baby, you should come with me. I'll take you to the dark side. Me and you and me, do bad things in the nighttime. Baby, you should come with me, and we can kill a light, hit the light for the blackout, blackout, hit the light for the blackout, blackout. Oh. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything black, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, blackout, black everything black, black everything, everything all black, everything, everything all black, everything, everything all black, everything, everything black. Baby, you should come with me. Me and you and me. Baby, you should come with me, and we can kill the lights, hit the light for the blackout, blackout, hit the light for the blackout, blackout. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything black, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, blackout, black everything black, black everything, everything all black, everything, everything all black, everything, everything all black, everything, everything black.
All I wanna do is to put my arms around you and watch these moments fall back into place. All I wanna do is to make you stop and love me. How can I be blue when you catch me in these feelings like okay. I love you, I do need you, I do love you, I do need you, I love you, I do need you, oh, I love you, I do need you, oh, I love you, I do need you, I do love you, I do need you, I love you, I do need you, oh, I love you, I do need you. All I wanna do is to put my arms around you and watch these moments fall back into place. All I wanna do is to make you stop and love me. How can I be blue when you catch me in these feelings like okay. I love you, I do, I need you, I do, I love you, I do, I need you, I love you, I do, I need you, oh, I love you, I do, need you, oh, I love you, I do, need you, I do, I love you, I do, need you, I love you, I do, need you, oh, I love you, I do, need you.
Hello, and welcome in to the AEL High School Cup week number 4. My name is Whoopsyou. Joined alongside is a familiar face you guys do know from the Australian broadcast for RLCS, my good friend, Mr. JrTins. Welcome into the stream and welcome into the AEL Cup.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing to be here. You know, back in the day, I was here season 1, got to watch it grow, and now it is where it is. And we're getting international casters. That's the level AEL's gotten to now. We're just getting in the best of the best. And Whoopsie, yeah, you know, I've wanted to hear that lovely voice for so long now. Finally get to hear it on stream. So I'm ready for some good Rocket League here.
Yeah, I'm ready for some awesome Rocket League as well. We have a couple of banger matchups on our docket for today, of course. But before we get into that, let's look at this little intro video. For those of you who are new to the stream, you guys might wonder what we're doing here, the production, and as far as like what these guys are competing for. I think we might have a short little video for you guys explained by a subpar caster who I like to call Mr. Max Formal.
Welcome to the Acer High School Cup, a multi-part tournament series staged as the premier Australian high school esports competition. Here, you'll find more to play for, not just more to play in. The tournament series takes part in 5 phases: the Mayhem Tournament, Divisional League Play, Divisional Finals, State Finals, and then finally, National Finals. The Mayhem Tournament is a single-day tournament that includes every Australian high school team. The field will play in a Swiss format where competitors will filter towards others of similar skill level. In essence, winners will play the winners, losers will play losers. At the end of the day, we'll crown a Mayhem champion. The Mayhem tournament also gives us a good gauge of everyone's skill level, leading into the next stage, the Divisional League Play. Here, we see all competitors split into skill divisions, tightening the competition and making matches as competitive and rewarding as possible. At the end of league play, each division will host a playoffs featuring the top teams, crowning a champion within each division. And it doesn't stop there. With the results from all divisions, we'll find the best teams from each state and invite them to the state finals. Here, competitors will contend for the title of state champions, who will then advance to our final phase, the national finals. After the dust settles, only our state champions will remain for one final contest, representing not only their state, but also their school in a battle to stake their claim as the national high school champions. Who will it be? For all we know, it could be you. To find out more, go to ael.org.au/HS.
Well, there we have it. That is our road right there. And currently, like I said beforehand, we are currently in week number 4 of this lovely tournament. And of course, we couldn't do it without our sponsors, of course, which, by the way, very, very important to us. The first sponsor I always like to talk about is Predator Gaming, the gaming PC partner who provides high-end gaming-focused PC solutions in both laptop and desktop formats, powered by Intel, of course. And if you do have yourself a nice little, tower, get yourself a computer from Predator, you have to pair that with a beautiful PC monitor, and that's going to be a good look if you look into the AOC monitors, which is the gaming monitor partner who provides best in-class monitor solutions for all of your gaming needs.
As well, we also got, some food partners. We get a bit hungry while we're, in those long gaming, long study sessions. Indomie, the noodle partner made with high quality flour and select ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try one of the flavors available today at your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. As well as that, we also have the Game on Cancer, the charity of choice there for AEL, who fund much needed cancer research projects, and the AEL donating a portion of all student participation fees to a life-saving cause. If you'd like to donate as well, please head to AEL's Tiltify campaign page. So huge shout out to them.
Yeah, thank you very much to the sponsors once again. So let's hop into the standings real quick to see where everybody's kind of lying right now. After that, we're gonna hop into like the day schedule, but I want to give you guys pretty much the rundown as to what's going on, what's been happening. I've been here week in and week out, and the toners have just been on fire, only dropping 1 game so far in Division 1. Kendron sitting in that second place spot in 4 and 2. Of course, representing that Queensland. I'm not too sure. I never asked you, Tins. I forgot to. Who are you trying to see here? What state are you rooting for?
Well, I'm Vic, so, you know, I've got to go for Vic here. I've got to go for Victoria. So Tona's, you know, representing the state well, but I was getting to look at a few of the players. I'm just going to have to quickly do some quick research here in terms of one of the teams I was looking at was actually Linwood. A few players that I recognize there, so it'd be interesting to see how they pull up today.
Yeah, I love watching Linwood play. They're definitely, you know, one of those teams who are just on my radar, always constantly, you know, fluctuating between, you know, just they're on the cusp is what I'm trying to say. On the cusp of just being so good. And speaking about being on the cusp as well, the number 4 spot, the Ripley Raptors Blue Squad's at 4-2 as well. 5th place, the MRC Saints versus SPCC Light and Tangy, which leads us into our first matchup here of the day. It's going to be SPCC Light and Tangy taking on, of course, the MRC Saints. And this is going to be a good matchup between these two. Of course, if you guys just saw, it's a battle towards the tail end of that Division 1. But at the same time, these two teams pair very well together.
And you know, you're the expert here. You've got to see these guys play plenty of times. Who's kind of the players that you're looking out for each team? Who are the players that me coming into this should be looking at?
I mean, in my personal opinion, you have to watch out for SPCC. Flat J is just one of those people who you kind of have to keep your eye on. And then, of course, over on the flip side of things, you have to watch out for Super Nye over on the MRC Saints side of the field. Because, in my opinion, they're just, like I said before, on the cusp of just, you know, breaking through, maybe breaking into that 4th place spot over the Ripley Raptor squad. And I really keep my eyes, you know, towards that MRC Saints side of the things as well, because they played fairly well against the Toners. I think they actually ended up taking a game away from them as well. So I mean, they're one of the only teams that actually, or I'm sorry, Kendron, I said the Toners. They're one of the only teams that actually did that prior to last week, where Kendron kind of fell off a little bit. But at the same time, like I said, this is such a back and forth matchup. I'm not really sure which side to lean on.
Yeah, so it will be huge for that player. You know, that team coming up looking to try and break back into that top 4, see if they can do it here. So, huge matchup here for both teams, and as well as, you know, Light and Tangy, they wanted to get a few wins. They wanted to get back into the mix. So, it will be very interesting coming up in this next matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Especially for the MRC Saints, they played very well against the Raptors. You have to watch out for, you know, Crypto had himself a couple of goals last week, and they're taking a couple of games away from the Raptors. I think it was only 1 game away from the Raptors, but still an impressive game to take away. Still trying to stay very competitive as well against the Raptors. And like I said, they're battling, trying to push their way up into that 4th, maybe 3rd place spot. They can do that. The MRC Saints can do that. SPCC can do that as well, especially with the situation that we're facing right now with the Raptors, who I'm not sure if we're supposed to address this or not. I think they're currently playing with only 2 people right now, so they're a little bit, let's just say, under the weather, I guess we can kind of say. So they might forfeit a couple of games today, which is going to push them down in the standings, and maybe bump up the MRC Saints a little bit, bump up Kendron for sure today, and SPCC Lion and Tangy have a couple of games that they can kind of take advantage of as well.
Yeah, especially considering, you know, only top 4 make it into that Div 1 semi-final round, so you want to make sure you break up into that in the last few moments, and so this will be huge for MRC Saints if they can get it, as well as Light and Tangy get that win today against the team that you're fighting into that 4th spot for. It'll be huge for them to see if they can, you know, make it to the finals, because speaking about fixtures and all that, we are starting to get into that tail end of, you know, do or die situation for these teams wanting to make finals.
All right. Well, I mean, SPCC Light and Tangy is still hunting for that first win of the season. They can get it done here against MRC Saints. It looks like it's not a good start for MRC Saints, as I got word from production just now that their 3rd person is not responding. So we might have ourselves a mismatch here for the MRC Saints. So like I said beforehand, SPCC, they can take full-on advantage of this mishap, or I'm not too sure what will happen, and I'm not sure if they're going to forfeit the first match or not, but at the same time, that's something that's in the possibility.
Yeah, we've seen some 2v3s happen on stream before, so, and I would like to say I've also seen some teams with 2 players manage to walk away with a win somehow against all odds, so you never know. We'll have to find out exactly what's going on. But yeah, let's start to look at a few of these other teams here. As I said, you gotta update me. You gotta let me know what's going on. It's been ages since I've been in the AEL High School League world.
It's so crazy. I'm telling you right now, we have some really good matches. I really feel like they did such a good job with the standings, and as far as the divisions go, separating a lot of the teams. So kudos to, you know, the admins for getting everything done right on the back end as far as as far as all that stuff goes. And the qualifiers really did help as well with the seeding. But Linwood, like I said beforehand, one of those teams who are just looking to, you know, come back and, you know, pretty much bump themselves up from, I believe, that third place spot that they're currently sitting in right now. But as you can see right now, they're in our second game against SPCC. So, I mean, they have a good chance to start off with a solid win over SPCC. So that's one of those teams I'd like to circle and kind of, you know, put a little asterisk next to their team name, I guess you can kind of say. The Raptors are as well, but like I said, I'm not too sure what's been going on with their team. They just been just on the cusp. They beat some really good teams like Linwood. They beat some really good teams and compete with some solid teams like the Toners and actually beat them as well. But it's just, they're so hit and miss with some of their antics that they pull off. It's just kind of crazy to see. So yeah, this whole entire division has just been so competitive, going back and forth each week. It's been coming down to like a couple of just like one game, one goal situations.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Toners play, because I got my boy Fergo over there. I've seen him a few times, especially in the AEL League, and not only that, in, you know, in kind of the ranked scene in OCE as well. So that's definitely one of those players that is going to surprise, and I think you know, kind of helps justify as to why they're probably doing so well, and with, you know, alongside a few good team players as well. Will be probably one of those teams I'm looking forward to work out here, as I think we might be looking to get another match on stream. I'm not too sure.
So I think we did just get word that MRC is going to play at least this first game in the 2v3 situation, and we're going to see them at least try to, you know, compete with SPCC. They can do it. They're a solid team. They're definitely one of those teams, like I said beforehand, that can pull off that 2 versus 3 victory that you were talking about beforehand. But like I said, it's going to be an uphill battle. SPCC definitely need to come out here swinging. They need to take advantage of this handicap that MRC Saints are going to have on the field, and they cannot let off that gas pedal. Let's get, like, don't go overboard and start scoring a bunch of goals against them, because guess what? The longer you keep that third player out of this game, the more likely it is that you're going to win this game ultimately, right?
It's the catch-22, because you don't want to keep it too close that if the player ends up showing up, you know, you're now in a situation where you've only got one goal, but at the same time, you're right, the longer you drag this out, that third player might be able to come in. And we have seen plenty of times these 2v3s, you know, a lot of the times the team with 3 players looks to get a few demos, looks to start overcommitting and starts putting themselves in an awkward situation as we look to get underway here. So we'll have to see the strategy coming out here for the team of 3.
All right, let's get into this first game. Enough talking about it. Let's be about it. SPCC Light and Tangy in the blue side, and they're going to score first. That's a goal from Ook.
Love a good kickoff goal there. Not really a kickoff goal, but it kind of stems from those 2 players coming out of net, not able to get that soft touch. And that's going to be crucial here. When you've got 2 players, you want to make sure you're not throwing the ball away. You're keeping it close. You're looking to force out the other team, you know, to send 1 or 2 members past the ball, then look to start a play happening from there. So we'll see if they can learn to play this 2-player situation moving forward.
And that's my apology. I should have wrote down his name, because I think he actually wrote it down for me inside the actual lobby one time. I think when me and Gex were casting, or me and Max were casting, but we were arguing over how to pronunciate his name, and I think it was Uke, or I think, because for me, being American, of course, I just said it was Ook, because of the fact that, you know, you just dropped the L, and it's Luke, but he's going to score another goal, pick up his second one, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Take care of business on the pitch. You're up 2-0 now. Now just play keep away.
I'm gonna have so much fun here with the different pronunciations. You know, we had to deal with the previous American and Max Formal, and now they've stuck me with another one here. But yeah, definitely.
Max is a glorified Australian, okay? That's
no, look, he can say that all he wants, but he's got the accent. There's no fooling anyone, all right?
Listen, we're not claiming him anymore, okay? We're going to try to bid in for
well,
CJC.
We don't want him either, all right? Look, he's got the American accent. When he starts to develop that Australian accent, we could talk about it. But definitely good start here for Light and Tangy. You've got the 2 goals. You got what you need. And I think you're starting to really feel out, all right, well, they can finally look to take that first win of the season if they can keep up this play.
Yeah, I mean, the only person we kind of have to watch out for here on the pitch is, you know, definitely.
Reset.
Oh, close one, but no cigar. Going for that hat trick as well. Still have a chance at this one, having all this pressure onto the goal line. I was going to say Crypto is pretty nasty. You can watch out for Crypto. Ghosty can pop off at any given moment as well. But being in that 2v3 situation, just kind of forces your hand to be more aggressive. And 9 times out of 10 in a 2v3 situation, they ultimately make you pay in the back end.
And you're seeing a lot of moments here from double commits on the side of Light and Tangy, which isn't what you want to see, being that player up and maybe playing off that panic that's going on the blue side here. You can start to look to pick up on a few mistakes and know when to kind of hit this ball long field. We've seen a few solo players come out. That's a flip reset. Good flick. It will be played aside by Crypto.
That's almost a good highlight reel finish right there from Shadow. Defense being on point, though, for the Saints. Ghosty now, no boost. Interesting to see him in this position. Still does put this one center. It's going to be a pass to nobody, though. Crypto forced to play some defense once again. We'll go ahead and talk about pretty much a good shot right there, but saved away by Ghosty. I was going to say, we're going to talk about, you know, the danger that Ghosty can present himself. If he had some boost in that situation, I believe he could have scored a goal there.
Definitely, and it's hard because, yet again, we're talking about playing with the mindset of you are a player down, and having these moments where you're putting yourself out of position. That's a really nice solo play there from Yuke to be able to put that one away.
It's a great solo play from Yuke. Gets himself the hat trick as well. 3-0, and look at how quickly we arrived at the midway point in this matchup. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're not giving away too much, too many goals. As you said before, the more time you give, the more time you give that third player to kind of wake up, get back on the pitch. Might see a different outcome here.
Crypto and Ghosty are just so dangerous. It's just unfortunate that Super 9 just is not here to make this more competitive in their favor, but hopefully he does show up in that game number 2. Crypto has a couple of dangerous goals already on the season, and this one is going to be in favor of Ghosty with a little bit of help from the defense.
I don't know if that was Ghosty or not. That was just an own goal coming out there. Unfortunate. Tries to go for the save. Oh, they had the player in net, but just that awkward backflip was forced out. They weren't able to get to it. But hey, good signs here. They're able to get that goal on the board and maybe give them a little bit of spark. As I was going to talk about earlier, it's all about making sure you're not putting yourself too far out of position. We saw Ghosty, as you said, high up on the wall there with 0 boost. Moments like that are going to take you out of the play for a while and leave your teammate in these 2v1 situations, 3v1. So hopefully these players play a lot of 2s and ranked, and they can kind of work out just how to play off each other and make sure they're not giving too much time, as that's a good infield pass. Yuke able to stay that aside. Now going for the musty on target. Will be saved across from Ghosty.
I do love these wheels, but I'll tell you what, they are tripping me out just a tad bit. I would like to comment on, pretty much everybody almost in uniform on the SPCC line of the field, but at the same time, I do like them.
Oh, it's the pride wheels, got to represent, yeah. Make sure they're free in the store right now, so make sure you definitely go claim them while you still can. Good to see. We've seen a few times these cars come out in unison, sometimes all rocking the same outfit, and it's good to see. It's like when you rock up to school, you rock up to a job, you're all in uniform, you're all here to get the job done.
Yeah, it means that you mean business. That's what it means. You know what I mean? Everyone's in unison. It's a little bit of a mind game as well. Another shot coming through for the Saints, going to be picked up and gathered by this Light and Tangy defense. Here comes Riza now with a nice little pass off the sidewall. That's the awkward angle from the corner. That one's going to find its way in, and that's the 4th goal here for Light and Tangy. Just
perfect touch there. Both of the opposition taking each other out of the game and just couldn't quite get there. Finds the angle off that corner perfectly, and that's a good 3-goal lead here for Light and Tangy. They're looking to run away here with their first win of the season.
Yeah, hopefully they can get this job done, and I guess if Super Nice shows up, it's going to be a different story. 20 seconds left out here in game number 1. Riza almost pushing another one in. That was dangerous.
Almost got that wrong touch on the goal line. They can be very dangerous. That's a really good touch from Crypto if they can get the follow-up. But what a clear. Hold on a second. Light and Tangy got the backboard defense required to close out this game.
Last second sticking away. Almost a double touch from Riza as well. That was going to hit the ground, though, on the orange side of the field. And SPCC Light and Tangy going to win this matchup 4-1. And pretty much, we expected this to happen here in game number 1 at least. So, the Saints pretty much had the card stacked against them. Ook hopped out in front with 2 early goals within like the first 30 seconds of this matchup. What do the Saints have to do in this situation to kind of, combat this 2v3 situation?
I just hope they play a lot of 2s in ranked. In OCA, you wouldn't know this, but we have trouble finding 3s games over here, so a lot of us are 2s gamers. We learn that kind of play style, so I'm hoping that's what they have to move forward, is you've got to make sure that you're not leaving one of your teammates out to dry. You're constantly being in that support zone, whether it means you have to just give away possession or you're trying not to overcommit too often. That's going to just be huge for this roster, trying to combat that player down. And it's moments like we saw there earlier. They were on the high on the wall, 0 boost, and flipping off from the wall with 0 boost is going to make your recovery time way longer than it has to be. In moments like that, that's what's going to punish you when you're a player down. So we'll see if they can start to figure out, you know, when to go, when not to go, or when to just go long like that. If Shadow can't get back in time, it will be a goal. Not that time, but Ghosty looking to keep it alive. Both players here putting a lot of pressure, and that's what I like to see. That is confidence from the team of 2.
Yeah, it's definitely night and day difference as we hop onto the new map here in Rocket League. I'm not even sure what the name is called because I just haven't been you know, active since the update has been out. But it is a beautiful map, but some beautiful defense as well, or offense, I should say, paired with that from the Saints side of the field. So let's see if Crypto and Ghosty can get the job done here in game number 2 and equalize this series. Pressure starting to be mounted now from SPCC Light and Tangy. Here comes Ook, had himself a hat trick last game. Rizza trying to pretty much use him as a golf tee and try to put that one into the back of the net, but does not work out in his favor.
And you've already noticed the big difference as Rizza plays going to get away with the first goal here in game number 2. And I'm already noticing MRS being they're being a lot more aggressive in this game. They're looking to push up the field. We saw a player overcommit there, and Crypto went for the early challenge instead of just allowing the play to unfold in a 1v3 situation. So that's another aspect you can go down. That's another avenue, is being able to play over aggressive and making sure you don't have the time to be put in those situations where it is a 1v3. So maybe a good adjustment coming out here, and we'll see if it you know, helps them get a few goals on the board here. They are already 1 goal down, possibly get one on the board there, but the demo brushes it aside. Demo's everywhere on the field. Hold on.
Yeah, seeing the aggression now. Ook shoots the one too far to the left side. He had an open net just for a split second. I believe that one was Ghosty who was fielding that one. Ghosty or Crypto, either or. But this map is called Estado Vida. As you can see, the Vida right there with the beautiful palm trees in the sunset. Do love the colors of it though. 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Light and Tangy still up 1-0. But still, doing a good job, though, are the Saints. Ghosty putting a shot towards center. Shadow's going to save that one away. I do love the demolition, though, from Ghosty, keeping the play alive, getting pretty much making this one an even format, 2v2, just for a little bit of time. Didn't really field that one center, though.
Ooh, almost an opportunity coming out.
Though, for, yeah, Light and Tangy, just crazy. They have a couple of chances, but they're just missing them.
Few good opportunities, and I just want to say on that one, Ghosty was just getting bullied on the way back, kept getting bumped. So no one on the orange team was able to get back in time, and that's going to be a banging shot that slots itself into the right side of the field.
Yeah, Rizza with another goal here, going to be the second one for Light and Tangy. Another far shot. Ghosty wasn't expecting a close post shot like that one. Might be too sure if he had enough boost to even get aerial for that one to save it away, but regardless, we do see ourselves at a 2-0 lead in favor of Light and Tangy as we approach that halfway point.
Those are the moments that are going to come back to haunt you. Running out of time now. Making sure you're not overcommitting, especially if you're that last player left on defense. Crypto trying to get something going on the offensive and does beat out one. Good pinch infield. One to beat. Can they get the dunk? No, off to the side now. Looking to clean it up. Ghosty on the case. Gets a touch onto the backboard. Might just find its way in. Duke with a great save there to keep it out of harm's way for now. Good few attempts there for the side in orange, but right now, Light and Tangy are just looking too good with this 3-man lineup.
Yeah, so far, they've been so confident. It's almost like a shark smelling blood in the water. They just know that they have a chance to get this first win, and, you know, especially against a team who's just sitting above you in the rankings. They definitely want to take this game away from them. Ghosty might have himself a shot. He does put that one. I thought it was a little bit too wide, but he finds the angle, and he's going to cut this deficit in half.
Had to place it well and does just that. Yuke not thinking it'll go that far to the right. And just like that, signs of hope coming out here for MRC. Can they bring it back? Still plenty of time. Even trying to send it to OT or get a game win with being a 2-play down might be good, but Yuke is just going to deny all hope here for MRC.
Yeah, Yuke just knew that he had this one as soon as he left the ground. That was just such a perfect touch. It kissed the top crossbar and then had that enough momentum to pretty much bounce back in as well. So beautiful shot right there. Definitely did not let them live up a little bit, build a little bit of momentum, I'm trying to say. But Ghosty quickly on the other end scores himself another goal, and he puts them down by 1 again.
Ghosty's trying to keep this team in it here. 2 goals here, looking really good. Has been that player that has been the aggressor here. You know, not wanting to give the other team too much space, and it's led to 2 goals. Can they close it out with the 3rd one? That's a good kickoff opportunity. Good flip on target. No. Yuke, the savior, has been able to not only get goals, but just save so many shots that could have helped tie up this game.
Yeah, Yuke has been pretty much all over the pitch for SPCC the whole entire season. You know, offensively, defensively, single-handedly keeping them in the games is what he has been all about. Ghosty, on the other hand, has been keeping, you know, the Saints inside this ball game, and I'm surprised to see Crypto hasn't been activated just yet as far as offensively goes. That's going to be a good demolition right there from Ook. Can't capitalize on it, though. I believe that was Shadow on the follow-up touch. Rizzo's going to try to come in now, get himself maybe a hat trick in this situation. Ooh. A little bit of help from the defense is going to go ahead and make that true. That's going to be the 3rd goal for Rizzo. More importantly, the 4th goal for Light and Tangy.
I'm not going to lie, I thought Ghosty was on the other team there and scored a 3rd goal to help tie up the game, but then I realized it was the wrong net. Trying to make that save, couldn't quite get there. Just like that, 2 goals down again. Can they get another quick one here? Ghosty's done it before. A good touch there from Shadow will help keep the ball nice and high. Ghost has an opportunity. Yuke able to play it aside. Been very good on the defensive end, you know, trying to get these long clears, making sure it's been hard. That time not able to make contact, but has so many players here just sitting in net. They are playing patient. They're not wanting to overcommit here. And they're just happy playing with this 2-goal lead. Might even be a 3-goal lead if they can get one on the board. Good demo coming out, and Shadow gets away with the 3rd.
Yeah, as soon as he left the ground with this one, I saw Shadow was in position, or Rizzo was in position, my apologies, to get that demolition onto Ghosty. Ghosty was forced to slow down because he wasn't sure what Shadow was going to do. Shadow knew exactly what he wanted to do, and the communication was very strong there for SPCC Light and Tangy. So, good goal, great teamwork, only 8 seconds left. This was all said and done here in game number 2. Ghosty, maybe Crypto, maybe going to try to walk away with a little bit of momentum, but this one's going to float up in the air towards midfield, going to hit the ground. And just like that, SPCC is going to win this matchup for 4-2 and be on match point now.
SPC are wanting to get this win. They've struggled to get one all season long. They're wanting to try and get themselves into that 5th position. Hopefully they can move up then into that playoff situation, getting top 4. But it all starts with this series here. Getting this 1 win here will be huge for them. And MRC Saints, you know, they have shown signs of improvement. We saw a lot more aggression coming out there. We saw a lot more times where, you know, Ghosty was able to push out and be able to put that shot on target. So we do know that it is possible. Now it's just all about knowing when to go back to defense, when to stay on the offensive end. They can't be leaving that 1 player back. We've seen a few demos coming out from SPCC. They know what they need to do, and then when they're playing that player up.
But I really feel like on top of all that, SPCC was pairing that with a lot of demolitions themselves. I would agree with you. The Saints, they were firing on all cylinders. The offense was there. They had a couple of chances, being down by 1 goal, I would say, for a majority of that game. But it was pretty much, in my opinion, the Yuke show. You know, he came over, he was saved a majority of those shots away from the Saints, and, you know, he had himself a goal as well in that last matchup as well. So that paired with a kickoff goal. Hello, Crypto. Welcome to the stream, and welcome for your 1st goal, I believe.
Well, you know, that's one way to get in charge early. They haven't had the lead all series long, and a nice kickoff goal is how you're going to take the lead. That's perfect. Now, what do you do here? What do you do? Do you try and shelter in and just try and maintain a 1-goal lead, knowing how hard it is going to be in the long time, just for 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Just lock in. No other thing to be put.
I don't think you can afford to do that. You got people like Yuka on the team. You got people like Rizza, who scored himself a hat trick last game as well. I mean, I truly believe that Ghosty and Crypto are the two people who can do that. Just pretty much lock down the whole entire time and, you know, not allow anything to go through. But I think paired with the demolition strategy that Light and Tangy had that last game, paired with the, you know, maybe the boost management that they're going to have to have as well, I don't think they're going to keep them out for long. It's just going to be all about rotations. We've seen a few times here, you know, flying off the backboard, not able to get the read. But if they can keep their rotations on defense perfect here, it's going to be what it takes. This is a good air dribble coming out from Ghosty. Gets the angle, gets it down, just couldn't quite find it. No teammate there. We're seeing a little bit of passiveness come out here from that second player, not wanting to overcommit too much in the midfield. Another shot on target. It's missed, but Shadow's there to play it downfield. Yeah, and both members right there from Light and Tangy, that was Yuke and Rizza, who were both there committing to that save. So, good save from Ghosty. How did he read that one? Nowhere to be in that, you know, the shooting lane, essentially. Just in the nick of time. Still keeping them up 1-0. And I want to say, by the way, I think that's the fastest goal I've ever seen in Rocket League. Casting-wise, Ghosty going to score another one here for the Saints. A goal apiece now for Crypto and Ghosty. This is huge from Ghosty, just being that factor here. Not only they're able to get a goal lead, they're able to get a second one as well. Now all pressure being put on, and no, I've actually got to agree with you. I don't think I've ever seen a goal being scored while there's still 4 minutes and 59 seconds on. From a casting and actual match, I'm dumbfounded here. Ghosty's just found a third. Light and Tangy, they're all out of rotations right now. Listen, Tins, if there's one thing you know about me, or you have to know about me, I should say, is that I love kickoff goals, and we've seen 2 phenomenal kickoff goals in this game, number 3. I'm going to classify that one as a kickoff goal because guess what? There was a 50-50 at midfield. It ricochets off the sidewall. Nobody there to save it. 3 goals in favor of the Saints now. And just kickoffs are such a crazy strategy to me because there's so many things you can do as far as kickoffs go. I agree with you there. I do like it. And, you know, I give kickoffs a little bit of leniency, I would say, because there's a lot of things that can stem from a kickoff. I always give it about a 10-second leniency, I would say, because you see a lot of these fake kickoffs, things like that in higher level play. You especially start to see them come out in RLCS a lot more. That's going to be one for the first one, on the board there for Light and Tangy, looking to start back that run. I'm still amazed at 3 gold lead. Sometimes kickoffs is just all you need to get those nice goals ahead. Listen, the Saints are trying to paint, you know, a Cinderella story. They were making us feel sorry for them. Game 1, Game 2, we're like, oh man, only if Super 9 was here. Then all of a sudden, now they're like, oh, by the way, we were just trolling. Like we were just, you know, just warming up basically. And you know, now we're gonna start to come back and pull off a reverse sweep with only 2 people. Like, who does that? That would be a Cinderella story indeed. And if they could even manage to, but you see, Yuke knows exactly what he needs to do. Yeah, you're leaking the script. Come on, we can't be having that, all right? We've got to leave it up to the audience to see, but that's going to be a great goal there. All stemmed from a demo coming out there from Ook. And just like that, they get their second goal, and they've broken the barrier here. They're able to get some goals on the board. Now they're striking on all cylinders. Yeah, I mean, that was just a ton of pressure right there being generated from Light and Tangy. The Saints just could not compete with that extra player just being in their face, and on top of that, putting constant pressure onto the backboard. And then the goal, what ultimately led to that, by the way, was just the simple fact that they had the goal dead to rights. It's pretty much like I compare it to soccer, or I'm sorry, football. I'm not sure if you guys call it football. Right? You guys call it football in Australia, right? We call it soccer. Our footy's called AFL. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I compare it to like a penalty kick basically in that situation where it's just a guessing game, and that's exactly what happened. The defense had to play a guessing game. I'd just love to see because you spoke about pressure, right? You spoke about pressure being on MRC, and it's a lot more in terms of everything is pressure on them. Every clear, every touch, because on a play where all 3 members are trying to strike into your own net, you know, that first clear is huge. If you get that mistouch, and then the second player goes for the follow-up and gets not the best clear, that's everyone. That's your last line of defense gone. So every clear, every long touch out of defense here is going to be so crucial for them to hold on to this lead. And just putting pressure on so many different aspects of the little mechanics that you'd see in a high-level lobby can really start to show on a team. It has shown twice
We'll have to see if Light and Tangy can help try and punish that for a third time, or can MRC hold this out and actually take game number 3 here.
Well, the final 60 seconds are on the board. Only down by 1 goal now is Light and Tangy. They're trying to change that. They're putting a ton of pressure onto the back of the Saints right now. Ground pinch from Crypto. Shadow was waiting for that one, hopping right into the line. Ghosty has to play some great defense, does pay with his life. Now here comes Ook and himself a hat trick in game 1. No! Crypto scores this one, and there's the equalizer.
Oh, we've seen it a few times in the series already, these touch saves. And the problem is they're not coming out of the back post. They're cheating a little bit out of net. It's causing their angle to go for these saves to not be the best. And that's why these ones are going on target. No, that's going to be a kickoff goal. No one's gone for it. Did they not get the spawn? I'm trying to find out. Oh,
no,
they did get the spawn.
Was there.
Crypto didn't go for it. And the recovery couldn't quite complete the flip.
Oh, man.
And just like that, we've flipped the game around.
Yeah, Crypto's calling for a pause, I think. I think he said that he was glitching out. I'm not too sure if we're going to have a restart at that kickoff, and the goal might be null and void, but it looks like it's gonna stand, and we're just gonna reset from kickoff instead. But it was crazy because I thought the same thing you thought. I thought maybe they just didn't get the spawn because it's a 2v3 situation, and you know, maybe it's just one of those awkward moments where you have to play defense. But no, Crypto was there. Yeah,
and unfortunately, maybe trying something different or just not understanding the situation has led to the reason why you might be going out in a sweep here. Ghosty going for a last chance. We'll put that one high on the backboard. Great read there yet again. Ook has been so crucial here for this team on defense and on the offensive end. Ghost trying for one more. Might have it. Can get there in time. Ghosty's tied up the game 1 second ago. Hold on.
I was going to say, don't kite him out just yet. Ghosty stole this one away from Rizza. Shadow got beat as well, and Ook was just too far forward on the right-hand side. We have ourselves a ball game and potentially an overtime as well. As soon as these ones touch the, as soon as they touch the ball, unless something crazy kind of happens like this. Ook keeps it up at 0 seconds. Ghosty going for a shot. Shadow pops that one towards center. Crypto going back for boost though. Not going to challenge this one, and conceding that one to hit the ground, and we have ourselves our overtime matchup here in game number 3. Light and Tangy on match point.
Light and Tangy on match point, and somehow MRC have been able to bring it to this point. Can they close it out? Ghosty has been that leading factor here on the offensive end, being that aggressor, throwing off just how you'd think a team would play in a player down situation. That's crossed the net. No, it's going to be an own goal. Yet again, Ghosty's walked away with the game number 3 win.
I cannot believe this. What is this touch? Rizza again with another own goal, and is going to get a little bit of help on the back end courtesy of Rizza. MRC Saints are going to stay alive, trying to pull off the impossible here in a 2v3 situation. Absolutely ridiculous performance from Ghosty, walking away with 4 goals here in game number 3.
I can't believe this is how it's happened. Just great kickoff goals, 2 of them. And then you get kickoff goal as well, and you lose the lead. Ghosty gets a goal with 1 second to go. And then an own goal sends them in to game number 4. I feel like they've cracked the code. They've started to understand just how to play in this man-down situation. And
I mean, they could have.
I'm in my mind here, I'm just thinking there's a possibility now. There is a chance that this might be a turnaround if they can keep these kickoff goals happening, or just if they can keep this solid rotation happening. Along with a few own goals, they might find themselves with another lead.
You have to think of the kickoff goals as well that were in favor of the Saints that whole entire last game. So in order for them to be successful, I really feel like some of that kind of has to go into their favor as well, paired with some great defense. Ghosty's going to field this one. He's going to have himself 100 boost. Shadow backs off, which is strange to see. Ghosty just loses control of the ball as well, can give that one away. Shadow quickly there to put a touch on it. Rizza kind of gives that one away as well. So I'm not really liking what I'm seeing from SPCC right now. They're not really making decisive decisions like they were in game 1 and game 2, but they're still going to have results from that regardless if I like it or not. Rizza's going to score.
Yet again, it's just these solid rotations happening on defensive end. You see Ghosty is just their front post. I believe that was Crypto's ball to get that clear. You want to keep clean rotations. You don't want to make sure, you don't want to make force a double commit or make one of your teammates awkward by challenging a ball that they think is theirs, and that's what's going to be detrimental to a team that is playing with that man down. So they get punished here early. And Ghosty just has been that player on offense there, but you talk about the player on offense and defense here for the side in blue. That's going to be Ook who gets the second goal here.
It's just miscommunication, I really feel like, right now for the Saints. Ghosty and Crypto just not on the same page like how they were this last game. If you look at the communication, you see Ghosty was, you know, going for that ball on the back wall. Crypto gets sucked out of the net when, you know, theoretically, Ghosty should have probably taken that one the whole entire time across the net. Crypto should have been there for a potential shot, and that's not what happened. But still, only down by 2. The Saints still have themselves a chance. They could do something, but they need to have this ball over on the blue half of the field.
It's these ball side rotations that are coming out. It's forcing the player that has gone back post to be awkward. That's a good flip there by Crypto. Then get the demo on the last. No, Rizard just able to get that clear. Now gone down the long way. What a read off the angle.
That's so ridiculous.
Oh my lord. Ook doing amazing things.
It all came down to just a ridiculous touch from Ook, and Crypto tried. He had the air dribble, and he pretty much went for the bump play onto Rizza. Rizza just saved it in the nick of time. Ook caught the defense sleeping. That's the third goal for Light and Tangy. And so far, they have been playing, you know, pretty decent Rocket League, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, I just feel like it's just so unfair. I want to see the Saints, you know, pretty much pull this one out, and they have a chance here for Crypto, moving towards the offensive end, trying to get a pass, maybe it's a Ghosty. The defense just too strong right now for Light and Tangy.
It's a struggle because you look at this, and this might be the game that haunts MRC Saints when it comes to later on, you know, looking for that playoff spot. Just playing this man down as they might get another one for the goal. Everyone committing for that one. Couldn't quite get on the scoring end, and now they're just stuck on defense. It seems like those rotations have gone away here for the side of MRC, and it seems to be Ook's game here as gets one flip reset pass one. No, Rizza goes for the flip forward, but on the recovery kind of hits it away from the teammate.
And Shadow just makes contact with that one as well. Ghosty gonna push that one over into the corner. Rizza puts a shot on target. Shadow can have the follow-up touch. I'm surprised he wasn't more aggressive on that one, but regardless, we are going to find ourselves at the halfway point. We're going to see if Ghosty can get himself a goal. Ook, just such a smart player, puts himself right in the line of sight.
That's a good musty flick infield, goes for the pass. Crypto is able to get in the way of that one, but still stuck on that defensive end. Ghost has been doing really well at keeping this ball nice and close, not wanting to give away too much possession, and now it's Crypto's time to get that flick high in the midfield. Not wanting to over-aggress here. We've seen Ghosty be successful in the past, you know, looking to cut off that interception, go for the shot like there. Shadow able to play it aside. Time is winding down here for MRC Saints. It looks like Light and Tangy, it's their game to lose.
Yeah, for the most part, it really is. They have a commanding lead, 3-0. Short time remaining. They can't get lax just yet. Like I said, Crypto and Ghosty, who there's on the Saints squad. Shadow with a good shot. That one's going to be just a pressure situation. Ghosty going for that boost in the top right-hand corner. Puts them in the predicament. Actually, there was no boost that spawned there just yet. Ghosty just took an awkward path back, and Shadow just had a free net.
4-goal lead. Can't be too sad about that. They're walking away with a good win here, and if they can do something to bring it back, it's going to be off a kickoff here. Ghosty not able to get there in time. Where we've seen them be successful in the past, going for a few of these kickoff goals. They're not able to find it here. Maybe Light and Tangy finding out what they need to do, rotating properly to not allow that open net. That might be an open net for Light and Tangy. Ghosty is able to get the save. Now looking for the follow-up. Plenty of boost to work with. Gets the touch. Gets the edge roll pass one. Going all the way. No. Gets bumped off the play, and Rizza gets the save.
I do like this right here from Crypto, though. He had the follow-up touch. He pushed off the back wall to keep the pace or the pressure onto the defense of Light and Tangy, but unfortunately did not work out in their favor. All three members able to recover on the defensive end. Ghosty air dribble with the bump and demolition. Oh my goodness. That was disgusting. What a solo play from Ghosty.
Ghosty's just getting a few highlight plays here to finish this one off. What a play. Gets that touch, follows through with the demo. Ghosty has been the main scorer here for MRC. And showing it there, definitely one of those players to look out for in the up and coming weeks. Still time on the clock here, but it's just hard to think that without that kickoff goal from the previous one, if they're going to be able to bring this one back at all. Rizza actually passes it in midfield. Hold on, Crypto getting a goal. And there's a spark of life here on the pitch.
Hey, listen, I was going to count these guys out because, you know, they looked pretty much flat. But like you said, there's a spark of life out here. Only down by 2 goals now. Short time remaining. We've seen a couple of kickoff goals in game number 3. It's going to be Ghosty versus Shadow. Can he pull this one out? Rizza's actually going to pull off a crazy left go situation still in that situation. It does work out in their favor. They do get possession, but they need to be on the horse. Nice touch right here from Ghosty. Gonna pop that one right back towards the corner. Crypto needs to be there. He has the angle. He has the shot. Only down by 1 now are the Saints.
There is no way this is happening right now. The comeback of a lifetime. 4 goals down. And now they are just 1 goal away from forcing an OT. 12 seconds to go. It's all going to come down to this kickoff. It has been successful in the past. They do heavily win it. Rizza does get a bit awkward there on the defensive end. Yuke able to get a stop, and no, that's going to be a huge clear shot on target.
No.
Light and Tangy are going to walk away with the Game 4 win and their first series win of the tournament. MRC so close, but just out of their reach.
Yeah, it's just so deflating after that goal right there. There was a chance, there was hope for the Saints to push that game number 5. Like I said before, they're down a player. They played valiantly in a 2v3 situation, but ultimately could not push past Light and Tangy. So that means Light and Tangy gonna win their first game of the season, progressing them into the win column finally. As we see, you know, like I said beforehand, they needed to take advantage of this situation that the MRC Saints put them in, playing in that 2v3 situation. They did such a phenomenal job coming out here and actually taking advantage of that situation. And you know, for the most part, I really feel like played some really good Rocket League, minus that, you know, game number 3 where they kind of let a couple of kickoff goals determine their fate. Yeah, they had the opportunities, and as we both said, it was 4 goals down. We were almost counting them out, and they still managed to bring it back. And we talk about moments that are going to haunt you in tournaments, and you just look back when you're trying to make that top 4, how close you got while only playing with 2 players. That's going to be something you look at in the future. But, you know, Light and Tangy, they're going to walk away with a win, and regardless of how it's done, they got the job done. We saw some amazing plays. Yuke, definitely one of the players I'm going to be looking at moving forward as well. So huge win from them. They look to move forward here, really trying to fight for that top 4. Yeah, speaking of moving forward and keeping your eyes on players, SPCC is going to be on the stream again. You're going to be taking on Linwood. A little bit tougher of a task and more of an ask for them offensively, defensively. So we're going to see how they combat and how they fare against them after this break.
Take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you'll find a way to bring me home. And can feel it bursting through my veins. Your love's the only drug I know. But we've been playing the hand now with death, so we can light it up. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel the fire inside, so there won't be nothing tonight. We crossed the line, and now it's clear to see the light behind the suffering. Believe we'll finally be free.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the AEL High School Cup. My name is WhoopsyouGaming. Joined alongside of me in the booth today, of course, is my good friend, Mr. JrTins. If you guys missed us through that break, you guys missed a heck of a matchup, a 2v3 situation where SPCC Light and Tangy took on the MRC Saints, and they won that matchup 3-1. Now we're going to be moving on to our second match of the day, which is going to be SPCC once again, but instead they're taking on a tougher team, which is Linwood.
Yeah, I don't know too much about. I just know, I know a player called Matthew. I've seen the highlight that you posted earlier on Twitter, so it might be the Matthew that I'm thinking of. So I'm going to be very excited to see how this goes, and you know how SPC. This is now another chance for them to try and move further up the rank, further to see how they go against the top players in the pool.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. It's going to be a true test here for SPCC. It's not going to be how it was before against the Saints, but they did look very, very good against the Saints beforehand in the past. Ook is going to have to step up big time. Rizza kind of have to not have those mistakes as far as giving up goals to the offense of Linwood if they're going to have any chance at beating Linwood at this match. Linwood does such a good job playing together as a team. You can have somebody like Xavier step up, Matthew step up, Sweat step up as well. I believe last week is when Linwood was actually playing with a sub, and I think they actually still had themselves, they found themselves pretty successful still with their sub. And me and Gex were actually questioning the starting roster of Linwood, saying that the sub should actually be in the starting roster. So I mean, that just goes to show you how dynamic Linwood could be when they want to switch things up. But for the most part, I really feel like I'm leaning a little bit more towards Linwood. SPCC definitely can pull off an upset, but they're going to have to play some pitch perfect Rocket League out here.
Yeah, that's going to be really hard for them, especially, you know, we talk about getting a good warm-up in. You know, some teams in the professional scene always try and get a scrim warm-up to make sure that they're all feeling good before a game. And, you know, you had the 2v3, so maybe that would be a good warm-up for them, but it's going to be a complete different pace here. They've come from, you know, having to almost switch up, and in a 2v3, you can't really play a normal 3 style, I believe. Like, you've got to start looking for more demos and change your play a little bit. Whereas now, you know, they're coming out the gate to a team that should have all 3 players on the pitch playing at that next level pace that they might need to learn to adapt to early. And you're right, Uke's going to be that player that I'm looking at in terms of was crucial on the defensive end for their success in the previous series. Now, having to look to even step up more leading into this game here.
Yeah, now we do have, like I said beforehand, Matthew, who has that pop-off potential at any given moment, can easily walk away with a hat trick, and he has the skill set to match that too. Air dribbles, flicks, whatever it may be, playing the mind games. It's going to come down to the communication from SPCC, because we've seen it a little bit relevant in that last matchup where they started to kind of, you know, double commit to a couple of issues. You started to see a little bit of, you know, mix and match on the offensive end where things just weren't quite clicking. And that's why they let the Saints kind of creep in game number 3 of that matchup and walk away with that one for a victory. But I do like the fight from SPCC. They did fight back, you know, being down those 3 goals and you know, force that overtime situation as well. So like I said, it's pretty much just like a coin flip, but 9 times out of 10 I really feel like Linwood's going to win that coin flip, whereas SPCC, they have a lot of work to do to catch up to Linwood. Like you said, it's that next level of pace of play. It's going to be a really, really good test for them, I feel like.
Yeah, and this is going to be huge in terms of, I always talk about how AEL is such a good thing because everyone of all levels can join, right? And the one thing that I always say in terms of improving in Rocket League is versing those better players versing those better teams brings out the best in you and helps you learn at a much faster rate. So for this SPCC roster, this is about adapting, learning to adapt. Obviously, it's a best of 5, so you got to do it pretty quickly. But this allows you to kind of learn to test your pace and learn to, you know, what it's like. Okay, how do I need to play to get to that next level, to break through my current state as an individual player? So this is going to be such a good challenge here for SPCC Light and Tangy, and we'll have to see if they has what it takes to rise above. We saw just in the previous series, MRC, it took them, you know, almost 3 games to be able to finally rise to that occasion and learn, okay, here's how we've got to play. So Light and Tangy, if they can, you know, spend the first few games feeling out, okay, like how should we be rotating? How quick do you have to be to the ball? What are the other team trying to do? Take that into account and then look to, you know, okay, well, how do we counteract this? How can we now move to this next level?
Yeah, on top of that, I really hope that they didn't have the bad habits that's going to transfer with them from that last matchup as well. You know, being in that 2v3 situation, I know we keep bringing it up, but I mean, when you play that game, like in that mindset, it's such a fast pace, it's such a high pace as well. And like you said, trying to transition over to that next level, trying to push yourself up the bracket here for the standings wise, I really hope that they didn't take any of those bad habits, like the ball chasingness in that 2v3 situation, the double commits in that 2v3 situation, and transfer that into this 3v3, like you said. So hopefully it doesn't happen. But at the same time, it could, because I mean, we've both been in that situation before playing Rocket League. We kind of get into that ball chasing mode when we're facing against, you know, some random opponents in casual or competitive, whatever it may be. You kind of take what you did last game because you were successful when you won the game or won the series, and you kind of try to apply that into the new series. But this is a whole new ball game. This is Linwood. You know, this is a team that's competing with the Toners, a team that's competing with the Raptors. You know, this is a whole different ball game for SPCC. Hopefully they can get things figured out, and hopefully they're going to play their best game.
Yeah, I don't know about you and your SSL lobbies, but you know, when I play, it's always
SSL.
I got told you're SSL, and now I got told you're SSL and not to question at all. You know, you're a diamond in NA, so that obviously means that you'd be SSL here in OCA. That's what every Twitch chat always says. Yeah. So transfer reasons to be on top of the world, but you know, we always talk about just, you know, sometimes, especially in ranked, is one player, you know, disconnects and then the team of 3 starts going for demos and starts really overcommitting, and that's when it leads to a lot of goals. So you're right, it does force out a lot of bad habits here, so we'll have to see if they can learn to get back into the rotation early. That's going to be an early shot on target, though, as we get this series underway.
And guess who saves that one away? None other than you, who's going to be the savior once again, and he's going to get the first goal, too. What in the transition just happened?
Can we get an own goal counter just for fun? Just put it up in the top right corner or somewhere we can see it. But that's a great counter attack there, going coast to coast there from Uke, and you know, being able to force the defense into a situation where they were questioning, am I able to get to this early enough? Do I have to go for it now? Mistiming that save, and that's what led to that own goal here. And Matthew, this player that I've heard about, so it'll be interesting to see how they can pull off these solo individual plays. Couldn't quite make that attempt happen. But I always talk about these highly mechanical players, these solo play, you know, players that it's not the solo play that's going to lead to the goal. I love players that use their mechanics to beat out 1 or 2 defenders and then gift one of their teammates an open net. So sometimes those solo individual players can lead to a bit of a ball hog and almost be detrimental to a team. So I really like to see how Matthew kind of incorporates these plays into this team play.
Well, I'm telling you right now, Linwood has no problem with that whatsoever. It's any given moment, any one of these members can pop off. Matthew's just the star of the show because of my tweet. And what he did in overtime as well, why is he not shooting that? See, not ball hogging whatsoever, just laying this one up for Sweet. I mean, Sweat, my apologies. He wants to get the assist. He doesn't need the goals anymore.
Just as I say that, proves me wrong completely. Yeah. Just lets that go across net, says, nah, my teammate's coming, it'll be fine. I don't have to try and pull off a hard angle. Just working as a team, and you know, that's just shut me up straight away. I completely agree with you now. This team has what it takes to play with that great teamwork mentality here, and see if we can lead to a second goal on this attempt. Both teammates there retreating, giving the side over to Light and Tangy as they look to try and get some form of counter-attack. It's not going to work, though. Matthew gets a great read off the sidewall and forces them back into their own corner.
I do love what I see on a Uke right there as well. He was in the corner. He had the first touch, and you see the communication a little bit strong right there for SPCC. Matthew, though, air dribble, going for it, has the angle, doesn't have the love from the crossbar. Not going to find his way in. This one still rolling slowly towards the other end for the transition. I thought Uke was going to pull off another maneuver, maybe take the lead for SPCC, but Matthew's going to gather that one up. Nice flip reset as well. Doesn't really do anything with it, but he does advance the ball and put the pressure right back onto Light and Tangy.
Oh, it was a race there as that one went downfield. Who can get to it first? And they're just able to get in the way there to stop that one on the side of Linwood. Keep this game at a tie all just for now. RZA trying to make a play happen. Can't quite. Uke now on the case. Plays someone aside, not wanting to overcommit here. That's a commit on the end. Matthew goes for the redirect shot. Can't quite find it. Uke looking to take it the other way, but you've got every single player from Linwood here storming the capital here on your own side of the field.
Shadow, he had a chance to clear that one. Matthew instead at midfield gathers that one up. He should be looking for some sort of touch. I was going to say to try to maybe put the pressure right back on to the defense. And you see a little bit of miscommunication coming out for Light and Tangy. This is what's been their demise so far. The double commitment issues that you see Shadow and RZA kind of get entangled up in. And then on top of that, where one player should pretty much take over and maybe save the ball where get it clear, they just don't have a solid touch on the ball. And just pretty much hit that one so soft, and the defense just gobbles it up and brings it right back. And they start to face the boost starving, and they start to face the resources really, really low, and put them in the predicaments where they shouldn't be in. But Shadow is going to have that follow-up touch. He's going to put this in the face of the defense here of Linwood.
Talking about consistently keeping that team on the back foot here, it's never the first attempt, whoops, when you start to get, that goal. It's always when you get that long clear downfield and then you keep them suffocated in for 30 seconds or so. That's when you'll start getting some rotational errors, start seeing some missed touches there, and that's exactly what happened. Light and Tangy were able to get that score and now find themselves in the lead here. Can they hold it out? It will be an early goal back here. Matthew going for the double touch, can't quite find the angle, tricky shot. And SPCC walk away untouched there.
Yeah, Matthew has just been all over the pitch so far. Almost 400 points already. Comparable to Uke, who has 414 points so far. That's a couple of saves apiece for them. But Matthew just hasn't found himself a goal. And once he does that, guaranteed going to boost him up to closer to that 600 points. But regardless, he has been the first person. He has been the #1 man here of this team for Linwood. And he's just been setting up these plays. It's just been a little bit of a hassle to get by all three members of SPCC. For some of these solo pop-off plays, you see Xavier putting a shot towards target. Shadow's going to save that one away. But for the most part, Matthew has been mixing it up and keeping the defense of SPCC guessing.
They're having a shot on target, almost coming through, but that's going to be the follow-up there from Matthew. Such a good rotation there. Gets that touch, goes for the boost, and you see there just in the corner, immediately turns in. Yep. Not wanting to overcommit, not wanting to express all the way back down for their boost. That's the kind of heads-up plays that you see, being aggressive. And just like that, in the last few moments, 38 seconds left, tie game.
It's almost like he knows we're talking about him, and he's like, hey, now it's time for me to take over. It's a club situation.
I can do that too.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that and prove you guys wrong once again on stream, okay? Like, what do casters know at this point in time? But 2-2, almost 20 seconds left. Matthew at midfield has the potential air dribble. That one is covered up by RZA. And look at that's the double commitment issues I was talking about. You see Uke and Shadow both going for that, and Shadow putting himself in a predicament right there as well. 10 seconds on the clock, looking at potential overtime here in game #1. This is going to be rolling up the right-hand side. Xavier pushes that one towards center. This could be a mistake. A triple commit right there for Linwood is going to keep that one out. And we are indeed heading to game #1 overtime.
Here we go. OT. Oh, I thought it was going to be a kickoff goal out the bat there, but might have even been a fake. Regardless, Matt is going to take possession here and will give it away. A good challenge there from Uke. Now looking to try and get that OT goal, been that star player. Can they help close it out? That's going to be a double commit and give plenty of time here for Xavier. Going off the wall, 100 boost, looking for the midfield pass. Does find Matt, who goes for the double, tries for the angle reset. Pass in field. And Sweaty going to put it away.
Yeah, Sweaty. Beautiful placement from Matthew right here off the back wall. Utilizing all that boost. And on top of that, the flip reset. Just so mechanical, so sound. And this is exactly what I was talking about with Linwood. It does not matter who the ball is going to. all three of these members are capable to score. And I mean, pretty much Xavier wasn't even activated yet here in game number 1, and they still walk away with this victory.
Rocket League Capitals got me again. It's Sweat. It's Sweat YT, all right? Look, it's Sweat. I don't want to get
I hopped on board with the whole sweaty thing for you to make you feel better.
Hey, okay, so you knew all along you were just trying to make me feel better. All right, sure.
Exactly.
All right,
I called him Sweat earlier. I called him Sweet because I'm a little dyslexic, but hey, I did back it up and say Sweat, so.
Sweet sounds so much better, though. Like, you know, nah, we got, Sweat YT walking away with that one.
Name change, please.
Maybe on YouTube.
Yeah,
trying to get those quick shout outs on stream, you know. All right, getting the put away. That's.
I was gonna say a little publicizing here. You know, there you go, Sweat YouTube. Okay.
Oh, any time you can get that publicity, you know, you gotta follow JrTins _ on Twitter, all right? Wait,
hey, yo.
It's over here. I'm pulling one in. I'm no shame, shame. I guess you can go and follow Whoopsie as well. But great showing there from Linwood there. You know,
put Whoopsie Poo as my name down there. What is going on? Producing? What kind of a show is this?
Oh, welcome down under, mate. We've got you red-handed here.
It's not my fault your guys' toilets flushed the wrong way, okay? Don't put me on blast over here.
Oh, yeah, you gotta change your name officially now. It's happened. But Linwood getting a first win in the series here, and a lot, I would say, tighter than we thought it would be. Great showing here from SBC. They seem like they've got that warm-up, and they're really looking to take it to the top contenders of the league.
Yeah, I mean, SPCC did a good job, I feel like, in that game number 1, where they honestly were in it. They just, a little bit of mistakes here and there. There's Xavier, I told you, wasn't activated last game. Now he's going to go ahead and activate himself 10 seconds into this game number 2. But once again, just the pressure from Matthew initially. He's just so dangerous, so you have to respect every single time he goes up with the ball. You're just not sure what he's going to do, if he's going to have a solo play, the double touch, or if it's going to be a pass. And for the most part, it's been keeping SPCC's defense guessing.
Well, SPCC, they've got to start utilizing backboard defense here. We've seen a lot of times that Matthew and even Xavier are just going for these long touches off the backboard, and that's what's led to these goals. They're not able to get it. They're challenging from underneath the backboard touch, which is one of the hardest reads in Rocket League. So they've got to start to look, maybe rotating through onto the backboard, get to the clear early and stop these attacks that are happening from Linwood, as that's been very crucial here for their current success. Another touch off the wall there, almost working out. Uke able to play it aside. Matthew trying for another pass infield. What a pinch out in the midfield.
I thought Rizza had a good play on that one, but it says to me, gathered up by Sweat there at midfield. Rizza, good job. No resources, though. He's currently sitting on 1 boost. Not really going to be able to do much with that. Xavier blows that one towards the blue net here of SPCC. Not really going to put that one in threatening position, but look at the threatening shot here from Matthew. The pressure just being applied to SPCC's defense just works out and opens up the door for him.
Matthew showing that not only get those assists, but able to get those goals as well. And maybe this is their warm-up. They took game 1, you know, try and warm up mechanically, get used to playing back in that competitive stance as a team, and now they're already looking to sail away with this one in game number 2 here. Good save there from Matthew, and able to play it aside here. Just happy playing in their corner. They're not wanting to give away possession too much, looking to keep it close. That's a big clear downfield. Uke able to get the follow-up touch, but no team really able to break out into a threatening attack.
Rizza, a little bit of a dangerous situation to be in. Still doesn't escape the danger. Matthew's going to punish him as well. Go up 3-0 now. Linwood. That's just good pressure right there from Xavier. I saw what Rizza was trying to do. He wasn't trying to put that one center because he knew the pressure was there. He knew the offense was there for Linwood, but instead Xavier was there to push that one through. And essentially it led to a goal for Linwood. Now they're up 3-0. SPCC are forced back into their defensive half once again, and this is just the danger of playing Linwood. Matthew, chef's kiss, going to find another goal. Absolutely ridiculous performance right now from Linwood.
Just top bins there, almost unnecessary, but if you put that any more up or any more to the right, and that is missing, that is perfectly placed in the field there. 3 minutes to go, 4 goals up. This is the Linwood that I thought we'd see going into this series, and they're definitely showing true here. Looking for another one. Can SPCC bring this back? Can they find out exactly what they need to do? It's going to come down to consistency, I believe, especially on the defensive end. That's a really nice 50 there. Ook trying to get the follow-up, but can't quite put that one on target. Now it's seems to be in possession here for Linwood.
I do love that 50 from Rizza, showing the aggressiveness, and on top of that, showing the you know, they're not afraid. They're already down by 4 at this point in time, so you might as well go for a little bit of riskier, you know, challenges. 4-0, 2:15 remaining. SPCC once again backed up to their defensive half. It looks a little bit ball chasing now. It looks like the communication has been, you know, kind of going out the window just a tad bit, at least here in game number 2, since this one's kind of slipped away from SPCC. That's a good layup right there. Matthew going to score another goal. I believe that's his 4th one of this outing here in game number 2.
Yeah, they're just going pedal to the metal. When teams get leads, they usually, you know, will take the foot off the brake and will try and make sure they're not giving up a lead. But Linwood, they're just wanting to go full force here. They're being the aggressors. They're looking for goal after goal. They are finding it so far. This is just going to be where the SPC can find a way back into form or can make those adaptations needed to try and figure out the best way to counteract the way Linwood's playing right now. Seems to be in their favor. And I do like to talk in Rocket League in terms of, you know, we don't have timeouts in AEL, we don't have things like that, so it's using, you know, the game's gotten a little bit out of hand, you're 5 goals down, using this time to even talk about things that are going on, things you can start to do next time, because Linwood are looking at all cylinders. They're looking to get a 6th goal as well. This is the time for SBC. We can start talking as a team and just, you know, try and come up with a strategy or a game plan going into game 3.
I mean, that or just, you know, reset the mental, because, you know, the mental aspect of Rocket League, a lot of people fail to kind of talk about, you know, so if you have to have this time to kind of, you know, dial it back a little bit and maybe take this time to yourself to, you know, address what's going on as far as, like, you know, this game getting pulled out crazy in front of you, and just, you know, take the moment of silence, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, you could use this time indeed to, you know, start to kind of talk about what's going on, because you see the double commitments right there from Uke and Shadow. It's going to lead to another goal here for Xavier. But you see the double commitment issues that's been happening, but it hasn't just been happening against Linwood. It was happening last series against the Saints as well. We saw it in game number 1 from SPCC as well. So something's definitely going on. I'm not sure if they're not communicating. And with these young players, that's typically what could happen, as we have arrived at Brazil, I think maybe on purpose. I'm not too sure if this was on purpose or not.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. We talked about that. Okay, never mind. It was I just looked at the score, but it was the Brazil. Look, I think
Matthew says in chat disrespectfully, he's like, we're gonna have Brazil on the Brazil map, so that's what we want to do.
Brazil on the Brazil map. It had to be done, but regardless, we talk about, you know, players' abilities. Like, you see Matthew, Xavier, Sweat, they all have amazing individual capacities, but this is where I'll be looking at a player like Uke, who's been kind of leading this roster. As they get another one on the board, they're breaking the Brazil line, but a player like Uke to step up and be like, well, to be that player to calm the nerves and remind their team that, hey, we've got this, you know, we know how we need to play, you know, crack a joke, try and reset the mental, and, you know, players that can really be that leader for a team to help them in moments where they need to reset mental, they need to, you know, they might be looking downhill because it looks like they are just getting, you know, stomped by this Linwood team, and saying, hey, this is just a one-off, we got this, you know, let's look into game 3, let's move forward.
I mean, because, you know, being at that RLCS level a few years of caster-wise, these are going to be some of the players that you're going to be watching in the future. You know what I mean? So some of these young leaders out here is what some teams are looking for. You see a couple of shots and a couple of saves as well. But, you know, a player like Uke or a player like Matthew, you could potentially see on the main stage, you know, in the future. As you see Matthew almost get a double touch. Can't really quite come up with it. So, you know, these players talk. It's such a tight-knit circuit over here in Australia. Even in NA, like, a lot of the players talk, and a lot of players won't want to team with certain players because of things that they have done before in the past. So, I mean, that, like you said, it just goes to show you the true colors of some people when you're losing by this much. And hopefully they can find themselves and push past it. Linwood going to walk away with this one here in game number 2, though. 7-2 victory, and officially move on to match points. So SPCC definitely have a little bit of work to do catching up wise to pull off this reverse sweep as well, it's going to be a tough ask. Like I said before, heading into this matchup, when we first started this long time ago, basically I said SPCC has to play perfect Rocket League. They did a good job in game 1. Game 2 just slipped away from them.
Yeah, it's going to come down to, I think the way you're going to beat this Linwood team is through consistency in defense. You want to make sure those rotations are on point. You're not, you know, forcing out too many double commits. You want to make sure that when you get those clears, they're long and downfield. And really just try and put that pressure back onto Linwood on the defensive end, because they seem to be running amok here. They're having fun. They're happy to stay in this offensive end because that's where they feel most comfortable. And speaking of, you know, those players that have been coming, Matthew is someone that I have seen in that RLCS form before. Exactly. That has been looking good. We've seen I think Sweeper, I think in season 2, Sweeper took the lead in season 2 ODL, not ODL, sorry, AEL. So they were able to really, you know, use that high school league, break out into the scene, and then also had a really good performance in professional play as well. So, you know, this is the starting ground for a lot of these players, and being in this kind of high competitive situation can help players improve and go to that next level. And as you said before, even maybe find teammates, as Matthew trying to put one in. Top bins to start us off will be played aside.
Yeah, game number 3 officially underway. He did have a little bit of a card change here. Matthew switching over to Vitality decal on the orange side of the field, so not to be confused as a blue player. Sometimes, you know, us as casters, but, you know, as a viewer, a lot more, it does get a little bit confusing with the team color cars. But I do agree with you on that one, though. Matthew, I believe, was one of those rare players who we've seen at the RLCS qualifier levels that have had some success in finding some day 2s as well. There's a couple players out here like that, though. You know, the Toners have a couple players on their team as well. So, I mean, like I said, these are the future stars here of Oceania. So, love to see the crowd support for them. Love to see the casters get a good look at them early so they can kind of, you know, go back to the roots later on.
And you also got to look at, you know, that uni league. There might even be a few scouts coming out, those uni leagues wanting to improve their roster.
There you go.
Some of these high school league players as well. So, definitely make sure you're checking out that uni league as well. Really good start here, I'd say, for Lion Tangy. They've seemed to keep them a little bit more content, not able to get a few good looks on target here, maintaining that rotation. We see a good defensive backboard cleared there, which is exactly what you need. Now, you guys an opportunity, couldn't quite get the power needed for that shot.
Still back and forth, very competitive so far in this game number 3. I want to reiterate the fact that this Linwood, I'm sorry, I was about to say the Saints, Linwood is on match point, winning this series so far 2-0. Good shot for Matthew, not going to find his mark. That crossbar being that 4th defender here for Light and Tangy.
Oh, just flipped the wrong way on that attempt, and that's what led to it to go wide. Might turn into a quick counter-attack here. Good midfield pass there from Uke, but not able to play that one aside and get that goal. 0-0 here in game number 3. A lot better showing here early on for SPCC. Can they keep Linwood at bay, though? Only time will tell. Sweat trying to look for a nice shot infield. Matthew's going to take this one over. Gets the flip reset. Looking for the backboard read. Great backboard defense there. That's what we need to see from SPC.
And I want to almost say that SPCC needs to score first in order to win this matchup. What a shot from Xavier. That's going to be covered up by Rizza and company, I would say. Rizza gets credit for that save. But they need to score first here. They have a chance to do that as well. But they have to go through Matthew first, who takes this one off the back wall, almost going coast to coast with it as well, for a really, really far clear. Because I want to say that they found success in game number 1 when they scored that first goal.
They did, and that's where, you know, you can put that pressure back on the opposing team. I think Linwood are playing very comfortable right now. They're not really seeing SPC as a threat, and just getting that 1-goal lead can just change the dynamic of the play so much. Just how it might here. Matthew going for the air dribble, double touch. Not able to get that one to fall, but it might be another touch here from Xavier. Getting the follow-up, gets the double touch off the backboard. Xavier to take the goal lead.
And this is exactly what I was trying to tell you. All 3 members of this Linwood squad are just cracked at any given moment. They could pop off with a solo goal. Doesn't matter who it is. Matthew, obviously the front runner, that number 1 man. in this roster and just shows off the mechanics pretty much every single time he touches the ball. But Xavier cannot be slept on. Guess what? Sweat. I applaud Sweat for his game sense and being at the right place at the right time. And that's why Linwood have just found so much success here in Division 1.
Well, it's exactly what you want to see. Matthew has been using those mechanics to kind of break the defense of SBC here, and that allows maybe not a goal right away, but, you know, 10 seconds, 20 seconds down the track, that has led to that follow-up goal, all from that solo effort here. Is now you trying to pull off a solo effort to get one on the target. That's a good shot, good follow-up, but just not able to break the defense here. Matthew now trying to send it the other way, gets the flip reset, gets a shot on target. Matthew walks away with a flip reset to take the 2-goal lead.
Then you just love to see the wave dash with the finishing at the end as well. I think he might have had a little bit of help from Rizza there. I thought I saw some contact. It could be my lag from my end, but at the same time, a beautiful solo goal right there from Matthew with the flip reset, the air dribble. Makes it look easy, but I tell you what, it's nothing easy. As we see another double touch off the back wall, going to find us going to be wide left, right into the hands of Matthew though. Final 60 seconds to go. Absolutely crazy game right now for Linwood.
Yeah, and you're starting to see SBC panic a little bit. They're forcing double commits. That one actually works out to be a great pinch regardless, but they're starting to throw themselves at the ball. They're trying to play at a pace that maybe they're not used to, which might have helped them a few games ago, but they might not be able to help them here. That was a good pre-jump pass play. They're going for the midfield. Linwood got the 2 goals. They have all the confidence on their side now. Shadow trying to get something going. That's a good early stop there. Matthew up early, goes just for the shot on target, places it oh so delicately past the defense.
Just a thing of beauty, like I said before. Every single time he's up in the air, you have to just account as to what he can do. And you have to account with that at such a fast pace as well. That's what makes it so unfair, him being at this level right now, and just the sheer amount of ability for him to take over a game is just bar none in my personal opinion. But final 15 seconds here in game number 3. Looking for the sweep right here is Linwood. And it looks like they're going to be able to do that as well. We see you trying to at least walk away with a goal here as a consolation prize. Not really going to work out in their favor. Shadow going to be demoed as well. Matthew, insult to injury at this point in time, keeping this ball up at 0 seconds. You see Sweat as well. The ball's still up in the air. Xavier popping that one back towards the net. Maybe they can walk away with the goal, and Rizza's going to shoot it too high. Linwood going to pull off the sweep and win this game number 3, 3-0.
Linwood have been looking really good, and I believe might put them back in the first place. I'm not too sure. I'm seeing them update on my second monitor, but I'm not too sure what's going on. I'll leave that to the professionals behind the scene, but that's going to be good for Linwood. You want to make sure you're getting that first seed, and that win there is just going to almost help secure it depending on how the rest of the games go.
Yeah, we're going to see how that's going to happen, what's going to happen. We have a couple matches being played off stream as well. We're going to get you guys updated when we come back from the break. But I want to say the third match we're going to have is going to be the Toners versus MRC Saints. We'll see you guys after this break.
Baby, I can see we're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell us secrets to the night, so we can see the end in sight. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. Time runs me over, and I burn some thicker skin. Learn to be skeptical of those with good intention. Why is it hard to love without hurting anyone? Are we still young? Are we still young? Are we still
I've been feeling just a little bit low. Got to get back to the show and we'll fly. You don't have to feel like you're on your own. No one should have to dance alone, not tonight. You and me, we're gonna write a little history. You and me, just show me love and then you'll see. Memories that we make, they are never gonna fade for a lifetime. We don't give no shade if you wanna hide away. We just have to try to play second feels up in the memory bank.
Hello and welcome back from that break, that very short break. If you guys missed us, my name is WhoopsyouGaming. Joining alongside of me is my good friend JrTins, and you guys missed a heck of a matchup because it was very competitive. You guys missed a couple of matches, by the way. We still have a couple more on our docket today, but if you guys did miss it, we did have SPCC Light and Tangy taking on Linwood. Linwood ultimately won that matchup 3-0, but still, like I said, it was more competitive than that on paper. But Tins, I want to talk about a very important thing, which is, of course, the people that make this all possible, which is our lovely sponsors. We got to give a shout out to Acer Australia, the presenting partner of High School Series, who provide PC technology solutions for all schooling needs in the classroom and at home as well. We have to talk about Predator Gaming, the gaming PC partner who provide high-end gaming PCs focused PC solutions, my apologies, in both laptop and desktop formats. Whatever you guys want, you guys can, pretty much, laptop, desktop, take it with you, leave it at home, whatever it is. It's gonna be powered by Intel, okay? Arguably some of the best software out there available. And of course, pair that with a great monitor, which is AOC monitors, the gaming partner who provide the best in-class monitor solutions for all your other gaming needs.
And you know, Whoopsie was saying, you know, well, it's 12 o'clock at night. I need a nice little pick me up to keep going with the casting. And I said, you know, grab some Indomie noodles. The partner made high quality flour and select ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day, or you know, or your night, depending where you are in the world. Try any one of the flavors today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. As well as that, we have Games on Cancer, the charity of choice for the AEL, who fund much needed cancer research projects, with the AEL donating a portion of all student participation fees to this life-saving cause. If you'd like to donate as well, please head to the AEL's Tiltify campaign page. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that website.
Well, I mean, you talk about it all the time as far as the Indomie goes, and Gex already owes me a bowl of Indomie. Max owes me a bowl as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cash this in right now. You owe me a bowl as well, so if I go to Australia, you guys are all taking me out for a bowl at your house, whatever it may be. So whenever we come back to your crib, we're definitely gonna eat ourselves a nice little bowl of
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Gex will get breakfast. Formal can get lunch, and obviously I get dinner.
There we go. I love it.
And it's all just gonna be Indomie instant ready noodles. It's great. We'll try the different flavors.
One whole day, there's a bunch of different flavors, like you said. But thank you guys very much. We were talking about the standings before, you know, pretty much all this stuff kind of happened. I want to reiterate what happened on the stream earlier today. Like we talked about before, SPCC Light and Tangy taking on the MRC Saints in game number 1. They found themselves their first win of the season, beating the MRC Saints 3-1. Of course, the Saints a little bit of a handicap. They were playing that 2 versus 3 the whole entire time, and then SPCC hopped on the stream once again, took on a much tougher opponent, which was Linwood. Like I said, that game number 1 was super competitive. Game number 2 kind of got away from them, and game 3 ultimately was super competitive as well. But ultimately, Linwood pulled past them, winning that matchup 3-0. We find ourselves where we are now. We have the MRC Saints taking on the Toners. And the Toners are going to be a tough matchup versus the Saints.
Talk about those players that I've seen around in that ranked scene, around in that competitive scene. And Fergo, you know, one of those players I'm going to be looking at to see if they can show up for their team. But as well as that, you're right, MRC Saints, they're the team that we saw so many good things of, and how they were able to battle against a team while being a player down. I can only hope to see what we're going to see now when they've got all 3 players on their roster looking to take down, because they're running out of time. Obviously, they've got to start to get a few games underway if they want to start to make that playoff run, if they can.
I mean, like I said beforehand, we can't sleep on the Saints whatsoever. You obviously saw what happens with Crypto. You saw what happens with Ghosty. Ghosty was popping off in that 2v3 situation. Well, guess what? Now they have Super Knight. Super Knight is here. He's inside the in the lobby, so it's going to be even matchup. It's going to be a 3v3, but like I said, it's going to be a tough matchup. Fergo is definitely somebody you have to watch out for. Brilliance as well, and of course you got Critic, who is going to be backing all of them up. I mean, it's just like the Linwood team. It's any given moment, any one of these members can pop off. It just depends on who's going to be hot in this situation. Not only that, it's going to depend on how the Saints, like what they're going to provide them as far as offensively goes, what they're going to give up to the Toners as well.
Yeah, well, I've seen a few. I remember the logo that Brilliance, I think, has. But on top of that, you know, I asked you, Critic, sorry, but I asked you, you know, what are the players to look out for in that first series of the day, and you did say, Super. You did say Super is that player to watch out for. So, you know, hoping they can add that spark to MRC and they can, you know, bring it back after not able to take the first series of today, and you know, look to take this one here as we are live. In game number 1, we got the Toners over in blue and MRC Saints over in orange. Yet again, Fergo here now looking to start us off strong. Going for a tough double touch. Can't quite get the read.
Yeah, this one's going to be, like I said beforehand, just such a good matchup, especially if... Oh, not like this. I was just about to give credit to the defense of the Saints. I was going to say, especially if they could play some pinpoint defense, and you know, Crypto off the back wall once again, just getting mixed up with Ghosty. Ghosty thinking he should go for that one as well. The communication issues are just pretty much apparent here for the Saints, but it's only the first goal. We can't kind of get crazy just yet. There's still a lot of game left to be played.
We see it a lot in these types of competitions where it's the ball side rotating that really seems to cause an issue for a lot of these teams. You know, right there, the player rotating on ball side, going up the backboard, making a diving save. When you had that player back post in net, that probably could have made a better attempt at the clear. So something to look out for most teams. Fergo almost getting a tough read off the corner, just can't quite find the angle downwards. Now Ghosty, that player that we were astounded by in that first series here. See if they can make some magic happen here.
Yeah, hopefully him and Crypto could just be on the same page. We said beforehand, Super Knight just fits so well in with the play style. Crypto is advancing this one over towards the blue half of the field, so it's a little bit of a good showing, trying to come back from that 1 goal deficit. Brilliance did have a chance at that one, almost going for the ground pinch in that situation, just could not come up with it. Crypto going to save this one away, but it's going to be a floater at the midfield line. Brilliance into the corner towards Fergo. And you have to think at that point in time, where is Brilliance? Where is he lurking at? You have to take into account where he is on the pitch. Just to not be able to get a pass towards the center of the field is unfortunate right here for the Toners.
Fergo having a good opportunity, but well challenged by Crypto to keep that one alive. Yet again, find themselves already on the defensive end. That's going to be a tough read off the ceiling. What a save by Super there to keep that one out of the net. They still find themselves on the defensive end. But they got away with a great play there. That's going to be a banging shot straight down the middle for Brilliance.
Yeah, I love this shot right here from Brilliance. He just knows that the defense is on the rotation back through. He recognizes that he has a little bit of an opportunity. He just fires that one out of a cannon. And I was going to say, that one just came so quick that the defense did not expect that angle to kind of, you know, concede a goal.
That's where it's going to be making sure to get these long clears and not try and stay on the defensive end too long, because a team like the Toners, they're just going to build up over time. They're going to try and, you know, get those boost steals, try and suffocate you on the defensive end, lead to a few mistakes as we saw there. They are able to get the save and the clear, so they walk away unscathed from that attempt. Brilliance now trying to get something going in the midfield, met well by Ghosty, but that's going to be a midfield pass. What a save! Crypto managed to keep it out of the net.
That was so unreal. Crypto was pretty much dead in the water, just stopped moving, and then he just stopped moving at the right place at the right time. Little to no resources to his name as well, still saves that one away. But regardless, the Saints are just under so much pressure. Fergo almost having that second touch too. That one could have been a goal. Brilliance with a follow-up touch, just going to find its mark. That's going to be the second goal here for Brilliance, pushing up the Toners 3-0.
They're definitely running away with it at this point. They've got their warm-up needed, and it's really just been the pinpoint accuracy from this team. They're not really going for too many mechanical plays. They're just making sure they hit the ball hard, and when they do, it's on target. That's what's led to the 3 goals so far. And it's, you know, it's been a great way to kind of come into a series. It shows that sometimes you don't always need those flashes of the solo plays. Sometimes it's midfield pass plays like this, back and forth. Not quite able to score on that attempt, but it is going to be a crossbar down. That's going to be a tough read, and somehow it stays out of net. Whoops.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was hoping that Fergo would turn on that one just to find themselves another goal, but at the same time, it was just a beautiful, just crazy situation to kind of be in. Crypto going to save that one away from Critic. And I was going to say, that's just some beautiful observing, paired with this beautiful goal, by the way. I'm going to give you your credit where your credit is due right now, as Fergo scores another goal in favor of the Toners. That's exactly how the Toners have been playing offense the whole entire season. They're not the flashiest team, you know, kind of like how Linwood has Matthew. They're just a more precise team. They have those team plays, the passing plays, and they just pretty much, nothing that you're going to see from them is going to hit the highlight reels, but they're still going to win those games.
Well, they're seeming to play off the corners here. They're looking to go through the corner, bang it off the corner to try and get that midfield pass play, which is easily counteractable. Yeah, counteractable for the side of MRC Saints here. So maybe something they can look at working into, you know, forcing some backboard defense play and really trying to put them out of their own net here, as that's going to work and maybe give a spark of life here for the MRC Saints.
That's a good shot right here. Good take from Super Nye. At least add them to the board. But I was going to say, the Kryptonite has been, for the Toners for the most part, has been more mechanical teams. Like I said, they play at such a top level, but they struggle with some of those mechanical teams. But at the same time, they beat teams that they shouldn't beat, like you know, the Raptors, or you know, something crazy kind of happens where they push past those teams that maybe they shouldn't beat, and just time and time again they just find a way to do it. And it just pairs so well with their offensive strategy. And they have that defense to back it up. As you see, Brilliance, just a thing of beauty right here, off of the ceiling read, pushing past the defense.
They're just playing fundamental. They're waiting in net. Their rotations are perfect. And when it comes to a missed touch like that or a pass in midfield, there's always a player there looking to pick it up, looking to put it away. That's been the story here in game number 1. It's an easy decision to make here to just try and, you know, understand what they're doing. So now if you're the side of the Saints, you want to start looking for midfield passes. You want to start trying to read what the defense is doing and kind of really force them to have to make the solo plays or have to make a decision that can put them out of position, that can, you know, allow them to not have constant attacks on offense like they are now, where they're just being able to really run amok here. Virgo tried to get one for the road just like that. Toners will take game number 1, and they're looking strong to continue this play style. 4-goal lead. 4-goal lead here for the Toners, and it's a dominant displaying for game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, the Toners are not the prettiest team to get the job done, but they're going to get the job done at the end of the day. They have such good team chemistry, is the word I was looking for earlier. As you see, you have 2 assists for Brilliance, 3 assists for Fergo, and that's the flip of it. You know, Brilliance walks away with a hat trick here in game number 1, and then, you know, Fergo walking away with 2 goals. So that's the whole entire offense right there. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't individual plays, it was teams, and they were pushing past, they're using their wits to get by the defense here of the Saints. Not only that, they paired it with such speed that the Saints had to play catch up for a majority of this game, and they're in trouble. The Saints have to, you know, raise the bar of their play style if they want to combat here against the Toners. So hopping into game number 2, we're going to see if they can do just that, or the Toners are going to run away with this one.
Yeah, they have to find a way to stop the pace of Toners, or to just try and stop these, I don't want to say open nets, but it just seems like it looks like an open net because they're just placing everything so well. And, you know, they are looking for the top corners. They are looking to put things, you know, with authority into the back of the net. So we'll have to see if they can counteract it. That's a good demo attempt actually coming out there from the side in blue. We do see the defense holding true just for now, as the Saints are able to get it clear downfield.
I do like the aggression right there from Fergo. Fergo's going to be on the defense right there, keeping that one out from Ghosty. But I do like the aggressiveness. He just parked himself on the goal line, making himself a nuisance. Almost scored himself a backwards backflip goal as well. You see Ghosty going for that air dribble as well, going for the bumping play on the last defender back. Maybe trying to set something up for his defense. Maybe trying to get something going as Critic shoots that one a little bit too soft and not on target as well. But you're starting to see a little bit of the bumping plays, a little bit more aggression from both sides. But it's the Saints who has to keep that aggression up, especially against a team like the Toners, who always find their way into the back of the net, almost on cue, too.
Oh, just trying to rotate back, trying to get a touch to make it easier. Wait, no, sorry, it was on the same team. My bad, I was looking the wrong way. A pinch from both players on the same team there. Get that in. Top corner. What a play. Look, if you want to turn the ball around, if you want to get a quick counter attack, that is the perfect way to do it. Toners maybe showing that they have a few of those mechanics. Fergo now trying, couldn't quite get the foot reset. But what a goal there to start things off from Toners.
A speedy shot as well from the Toners. And like I said before, you have to outsmart them when it comes to it. And that just was not a smart play on the defense of the Saints. 136 kilometers. I'm not sure how many freedom units that is, but it's still a fast goal, regardless of what measuring system you use.
I thought you were going to start talking in miles per hour, and that's when I was really going to have a talk to the production.
Yes.
Yeah, great showing. And we're seeing a few demo attempts, you're right. They've been coming out from the Toners, and this is where the Saints need to start capitalizing, because they're overcommitting. They're sending 2 players at a play. They had an opportunity for a quick turnaround. They couldn't just quite get that clear. That would have led them in the right direction. But, you know, seeing the Toners now start to show some double commits, show some moments where their rotations are all out of whack. Could be a moment to go. Triple touch almost coming out from Fergo, but Brilliance is going to be the one to put it away.
And look at how short this window is. You see Fergo, what he does with the ball there. Crypto commits to it, but look at how fast Brilliance is on that ball. That's what I'm talking about, how picture perfect a lot of their offense is. They know exactly what's going to happen. I'm not sure if it's the communication or just been playing together for such a long time that they know what's going to happen. But regardless of the fact, the Saints have to stop it. And I'm not too sure if they can. I mean, at this point in time, the toners just look just in sync with one another.
Part of me just feels like Brilliance actually just went for the first touch off the backboard and didn't have faith in Fergo, and that's why he was there so quickly. But, you know, that's just me playing devil's advocate. What do I know?
I was going to say, you're going to take that credit away from him, that brilliant read that he had.
He was up so early. There's no way that that's a possibility.
Listen, we've seen crazier things happen. I'm giving him credit.
All right. Perfectly. The communication is just on point for this Toner side as they do walk away with yet another goal. They have been playing on point.
He hears you. Look at him. He's like, I'm going to put an exclamation part behind this one. Look at where I'm at right now, okay?
It wasn't quite 100 kph, only 99. So, you know, come on, Brilliance. You're gonna have to maybe put one in top bins at least 100 there, and then I'll believe that play was accounted for. But really well played here. You talk about it that we're seeing flashes of the mechanics. Crypto now getting one on the board, but we're seeing flashes of those mechanics, of those capabilities from Toners. So we know that is a trick in their arsenal, that they're able to bring out some solo plays and really able to wow their way, you know, to a goal. But it's the fundamentals that has really gotten to this point, gotten them this 3-goal lead, and that's just solid pass plays, solid rotations, and just reading what each other are doing really well. But Super says being solid sometimes isn't going to get you the win. They're trying to fight back here in game 2.
Yeah, just 2 quick succession goals right here in favor of the Saints, and it's exactly what you want to do if you are the Saints. A minute and 49 seconds left, only down by 1 now at this point in time. And I want to, you know, kind of talk about what you said there. You said you're seeing flashes of the mechanics. What we're seeing is flashes of brilliance, and I'm going to go ahead and wordplay the NA team there as well. But at the same time, like, yeah, I mean, it's just been, you know, brilliance hasn't been essentially the front runner like how Matthew has been, but at the same time, he has been making his presence known each and every time they go on the offensive end. Speaking of making their presence known, look at Critic. They'll walk away with the goal. That's a goal apiece now, at least, for everybody on the Toners.
Critic's been a bit quiet here in game number 2, but good to kind of make that mark here nice and early. You know, Sam's still around, still can slot those top bins. Critic, everyone involved on this Toners roster has helped them get back into that safety goal we always talk about in Rocket League. You want that 2-goal lead, because when that clock hits 0, that ball is still live and you can still go down in the final moments. So you get that safety goal underway, and it's got to make you play a lot more comfortably as a team.
Super Nye towards midfield. Fergo did a good job at keeping this one towards midfield. That's a mistake though from Fergo. Shouldn't have had the follow up there. I was gonna say that was a double commit as well. Under 60 seconds to go now. Critic pass over to the right hand side, gonna give that one away. Ghosty upward pass. I wanted to see somebody there to receive it though, whether it be Crypto, whether it be Super Nye. It was such a good take, but still in the play is Ghosty. Down by 1 now are the Saints.
Ghosty's done this time and time again in this stream alone. Still looking to hold through, puts that one away. Look, with 2 players on the field, they were able to do the impossible, come back from 4 goals down, win in OT. I'm getting flashes back to that first series, Whoopsie. Are they going to be able to bring it back here again? Can Ghosty lead this team to yet another 4-0 comeback? Fergo trying to lead the charge to start things off, trying to get that goal. It does find the top corner, and that's going to silence the Saints.
How does he do this? How does he get away with this? In transition, nobody contesting him off the back, with backboard presence whatsoever from the Saints as well. Absolutely ridiculous from Fergo, just popping off. And like we talked about beforehand, just one of those players to watch. He's walking away with 2 goals here at least. Only 20 seconds left now. Can the Saints come back from this deficit? Critic put a shot towards net. Crypto, a little bit of a transition. He does have time to score this one, and they have time to score a second goal as well. Ghosty, a little bit of a bouncer, not going to find his way in. Final seconds ticking away now. Brilliance does force that one over towards the orange half of the field. This one should be all said and done. It looks like the Toners are going to advance over to match point and win this matchup in a 5-3 fashion.
Same thing happened last series. I hate to say it, but MRC, you know, they started out slow. They built it up over the course of a series, and that's when they ended up taking the Game 3 victory. So, you know, maybe this is where MRC MRC Saints start to take away with a little bit, start to warm up and figure out exactly what they need to do. Because we've seen it happen before. They had a great comeback opportunity, but I think Toners need to come out the gate strong here and try and shut down that momentum that they just built very quickly.
So you impressed by the Toners so far? You know, your Victoria team here, or no?
Yeah, hey, they're representing strong, all right? Look, Fergo's my guy. He's been playing really well, and then Brilliance has been such a crucial part to their success here, you know, being that player in field, playing off Fergo's touches, and then Critic just that solidify the defensive part, and, you know, also able to come upfield, get a goal. Everyone right now, you know, representing Vic strong.
Well, I mean, even though the Saints, you know, didn't win that last matchup, like I said, it was so close. Look at the shot from Fergo. It's going to be saved away by Ghosty. You know, everybody getting involved on the offensive end right there in the in the previous matchup, in the previous game. My apologies for the Saints walking away with 1 goal apiece. So, I mean, if you're the Saints, like I said, you're just on the cusp of just breaking through against some of these more dominant teams. And I really, really believe that they can compete and should win some of these games. It just comes down to a couple of little issues that add up, and they let these teams slip right into the cracks and score some goals off of them.
Can they score this first goal? It can be crucial here for the Saints if they can just get that pressure back on the Toners. That almost slipped through the defense there. Critic now, great infield pass. Brilliance just high. Fergo for the follow-up, puts it away. Brilliance is going to steal it on the goal line. All the 3 members getting involved to put that one away.
Yeah, what a good shot. Good team play as well from the Toners. Absolutely ridiculous, and that pretty much just summarizes the whole entire season for them. Like I said before, every single person always getting involved on the offensive end. It leads to just so much pressure, and then everybody can just, what's the word I'm looking for here? As we see, I think a DC kind of happened from Crypto. That's why I kind of got thrown off my track here as far as where I was trying to go with this. I think we are going to see a pause. But that's what I'm trying to say is basically the Toners offense. Like I said, it's not the prettiest offense, but it gets the job done. Ultimately, they utilize every single person on the offensive end, whether it be passing plays, whether it be communication, just constant pressure, and then something gives, and we have ourselves like a scramble towards the goal line, and then they just walk away with a goal in those situations. It's crazy to see, but they're so successful when doing so.
Yeah, and it's looking really well. It just goes to show that, you know, when you have both capabilities in your arsenal, you can go for the solo plays, which we've seen. You can go for just the solid play, and that seems to be the factor of the day here is just these teams that are building up the pressure. You know, it's not the first attempt they score. They get on the offensive end, then they look for, you know, that they look for that pass in field, and then go for a boost steal, rotate aggressively, you know, keep putting pressure on, and that's when that defense starts to crack, you know, 20 seconds down the track, and that's what's led to these goals. It's good to see this kind of strategy coming out from the Toners. It's been very successful. The Saints, now it's just about making sure when you're in moments like that, you're not wasting boost, you're going back post, and you're really trying to kind of support your teammates until you can get that long clear downfield.
Well, I do have some news for you guys. This whole entire 2-3 minute shindig that we just witnessed on the pitch is not going to count. We are going to see a restart here for game number 3. Apparently, Crypto was lagging ridiculously hard. His ping was fluctuating enough that it warranted a full restart here for game number 3. So, those 2 goals that you've seen from the Toners are going to negate. It's not going to happen. We're going to find ourselves at a 0-0. 0-0 even playing field. Sorry, the players are just talking ridiculous right now in the chat as everything's kind of
break the 4th ball. We've got Toners. They're confident. They're saying, no, we'll restart, but give them a 2-goal lead. We'll come back. Nah, Toners. Hey, I love the confidence coming out from these players. You know, they know that they have what it takes to get done. They're trying to maintain, you know, that top tier spot in the standings, and No, I love the confidence coming out from teams.
They might be playing with fire here. They're the gasoline at this point in time because like I said, we haven't really seen the full-fledged offense of the Saints just yet. Crypto and Ghosty, both of them, really haven't showcased some of the stuff that we've seen that they pulled off against the SPCC light and tangy squad. So I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to get these guys kick-started just yet, but at the same time, if you're the Toners, you know, you kind of have that cockiness about you, and you can afford to do so because you have a 2-goal lead or a 2-game lead. You're looking at match point at this point in time.
We saw how that worked out for SPCC. They didn't walk away with the loss, but it did look pretty close, and that is a great counter-attack pass upfield there. Critic snipes the teammate in Fergo, pre-flips, and puts it behind the defense. That's a great start to the game.
That was insane. I thought, from my angle, I thought he had like a musty, like off the sidewall or something, but still impressive, utilizing the flip and pre-jumped it as well into the line and then pushing that one past the defense of the Saints. So absolutely ridiculous. And in my mind, it's 1-2. Like now it's 2-2. Am I right? But the Toners quickly scored 2 goals to put themselves up 2-0 over the Saints.
The confidence in themselves is paying off. That backboard has been detrimental to Saints right now. They need to start trying to pick up, get to the backboard early, cut off that angle that the Toners have found scoring in so successfully here in game 1 and 2. Now looking to finish off in 3. That's going to be a pass that just trickles out to Fergo. He gets rewarded with the 3rd goal. Confidence paying off high.
That's just so unfortunate right there. And this is what we were talking about, you know, at that, end of game number 2. Somehow, some way, this ball just finds itself in a threatening position for the Toners, and they always make them pay. And that's what we were talking about before the game even started. What kind of offense? Oh my
what
goodness!
A double! Hold on a second. Fergo gets the touch off their kickoff. Goes way higher than needed, but still finds the angle. Fergo going solo and showing he can do it all.
Listen, I'm about to go throw up my Indomie right now in advance. Is what I'm about to go do. That was disgusting from Fergo. 4 goals, not even a minute and a half into this ball game. I think the Toners were activated. They're the gasoline, and the catalyst was just a little bit of talking from the Saints, and this was quickly out of control. They're establishing their dominance early on in this matchup, and now it's just pretty much cruise control. Or if you want to add insult to injury, just start to add some of these highlight reel finishes.
Well, I think of it like a slam dunk in basketball. It just brings that momentum. When you get a player that pulls off a shot like that, it just lifts the whole team. You start getting around each other. You start, vibing out as a team, and you just get so much confidence. And momentum is just going to start shifting more towards the Toners unless the Saints can do something to try and stop it. But Critic's trying to get another one for the road, another backboard touch, and that just might be an open goal for Crypto. Can he get there in time? Gets there just in time, and they're able to put it away.
I was going to say, on the flip side, though, you have to think about how deflating it is as a Saints player, Saints fan, whatever you want to think about. How crazy this situation is for them to be in. Especially after everything that was going on. And at this point in time, like you were talking about last game, we were starting to see a little bit of flashes of the mechanics, and now they're starting to pretty much full-fledged come out and play at this point in time, because why not? You're up 3 goals, and you should start taking some of these risks out here and have some fun with it. Ultimately, it's Rocket League. It's a game. Have some fun with it, although we are at a pretty competitive stage right now.
Whoops, you're forgetting about the copium of the Saints, all right? They've done this before. They've been 4 goals down. They've brought it back. Okay, maybe 5 goals down is something they haven't done before, but they've been in this situation before where they've been down heavily. But touches like that are not going to let that slide if you're on the side of Toners. They punish the defensive mistake there. 5 goals here in game number 3, 4-goal lead. Still just about half a game to go. Plenty of time, but you've got to get a move on soon.
Toners, just ridiculous gameplay so far, and it's just been non-stop pressure over on the orange half of the field. I wish we kept that track of that stat for you guys, because we would probably see about 3 minutes at this point in time. We see a Rule 1 as well in front of the orange net of just non-stop pressure. Critic doesn't like the Rule 1, wants to go ahead and just demo Super Nye, get him out of the field. I say L take right there. That's we're gonna cancel him at this point in time.
Yeah, not having that at all. Not having that rule one. Gets in there nice and early. Critic just wanting to make sure that, you know, they're definitely secure in this one, as they do break the rule one. Is that a break? I think that's still a break, because you knowingly demoed. Yeah, you knowingly broke the rule one. Maybe you just say that he's going for the ball, but that being said, you know, maybe Karma's going to start to play here. Maybe that'll help Toners get another goal on the board. Brilliant's just playing aside, maybe going for another pinch.
No, even if Karma does not come out in this game, it's going to come out in the season now. Critic just cursed the whole entire season for the Toners.
Yeah, exactly. Moving forward, if you see like a loss later on in the few weeks to come, that's just relate it back to this moment.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna clip it for you. I'm gonna tag you on Twitter. Like, remember I told you?
remember, it happened. It happened.
0-second goal in game number 5. It happens. Toners lose. Thank you to Critic from week 4.
Caster cursing weeks in advance. That's a whole new level that we've never seen before as a caster. But just like this, they might be seeing another Brazil on the field here as just another great three-man passing play, all getting involved and all able to put that one away. And it's just the teamwork coming out here from Toners that has just been crucial to their success and really just makes them fun to watch in a way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was hoping to see a little bit more from the Saints. I held them up on such a pedestal. I knew it was gonna be a tough ask, but at the same time, I was hopeful. I wanted to see a lot out of Ghosty, a lot out of Crypto. Like I said, we've seen so much from Ghosty in that in the SPCC Light and Tangy matchup. Good save right here from Virgo. I was just hoping that they can at least make this a little bit more competitive. But at the same time, the Toners are is what I'm going to say. Is the final 10 seconds kind of dwindled down here in game 3. Toners going to hang on and pull out the brooms as well as they bust out this sweep in game number 3 over the Saints.
I think I looked to, what we saw from Ghosty in that first series of the day was how aggressive he was playing and just how well it worked. So maybe something I wanted to look at in terms of, giving him more reign, give him those free reigns to be the aggressor now that they have that third player back.
Yeah.
And start to see a few more things from Ghosty. But that being said, Toners, they're proving that just that constant playstyle, just not having to go too flashy, is just such a perfect way to, take the series. And they take the series looking to maintain that #1 spot if possible, or even look to get up there on the standings.
Yeah, they definitely had a couple of games to make up for sure. I think they were sitting in that first place spot. If not, then definitely close to in that second place spot. I want to say they were in the first place spot for sure, only dropping 1 game the whole entire season so far. So ultimately, the Toners are just that team to beat. And it was, like I said before, it was a tough ask for the Saints to come out here and do that. But at the same time, they have so much more room to grow, and I do believe the Saints, if they can get the communication issues that they have down, they can definitely push past the team, or at least be a little bit more competitive against the top team here, which is the Toners. But we do have another game for you guys. Do not go anywhere. More Rocket League action after this break. Thank you very much for sticking with us through that break. This is the AEL High School Cup. My name is WhoopsyouGaming. Joined alongside, of course, is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. JrTins. And you guys recognize his lovely face from some of those Oceanic casts from RLCS or whatever he does over there. No one really knows what he does.
But what do you mean over there? Like you're over there. We're here.
Over yonder.
You're the one. You're the one that's over there, Whoopsie. All right, come on.
All right, but no, if you guys stuck with us through that break, if you guys been here with us the whole time, we appreciate you. But if you guys missed the action, well, guess what? You guys missed a lot of stuff that happened here today. There was a lot of matches streamed. We are currently at our last one, which is going to be a banger in my personal opinion. But if you guys missed the action, 3-1 in favor of SPC Light and Tangy over the MRC Saints. And then, of course, SPC came back to the stream. They lost to Linwood 3-0. And then the last matchup, MRC Saints came back to the stream and lost to the Toners. But now we have ourselves the match of the day, in my personal opinion. This is going to be Kendron taking on the Toners, who you guys just seen on the stream. And in my personal opinion, this is a rematch. The only team to beat the Toners inside this whole entire division is this team right here. It is Kendron. They gave them their first and only loss so far. This is going to be a banger matchup because Kendron won that last matchup 3-1.
It's going to be interesting, and I've just gotten word from our amazing statistician here that if Kendron win, they make the Queensland State final. So a lot on the line for them going into this one, and a lot on the line for both teams as they're wanting to, you know, get that first seed to maintain it, and that's what's going to be working out for here. The winner does have a really good chance of walking away and putting themselves in that good position for that first seed.
Exactly, and the Toners, like I said, they definitely want to win this one. They want to stay in that first place spot. They've been holding it very, very comfortable, but Kendron, they want that spot just as much as they do. Like I said before, a lot of these teams are just so, like, they're each other's kryptonite is what I'm trying to say. Kendron is the kryptonite to the Toners. The Toners' kryptonite is, you know, like Linwood to Linwood. Like, you'll see the Raptors kind of beat Linwood, and the Raptors will beat Kendron sometime. It's so wishy-washy, but at the same time, it's so competitive, and that's what makes this the AEL Cup, and it's a thing of beauty. It really, really is. And of course, like we said, we just seen the Toners on display the last matchup. They looked very, very good, but how are they going to match up against Kendron? That's the question.
Well, give me an insight here. For Kendron, we've seen the Toners in action for Kendron. Who's the player that we're looking out for? Who's going to be that star pop-off player that'll lead them to victory?
I don't know, man. I really can't single myself onto one player. If I had to lead towards somebody, maybe it's Trovy. Dev V does such a good job as well. And defensively, I know he's always there, kind of lurking. And then when he gets activated on the offensive end, it's a thing of beauty as well. But it just depends. It really does. This Kendron team is one of those teams that kind of live and die and thrive on who is hot at the moment. Give the ball to them, and that's pretty much their offense. And they pair it so well with some good defense as well.
Well, we're underway here in this last series of the day. Both teams a lot on the line, fighting for that top seed, for that guaranteed playoff position. Taking out another team in that top four, it's just going to solidify yourself that much more. Toners also wanting to get that payback from matching up against this team and losing earlier in week number 2. We'll have to see which team comes out of the gate firing and see if the Toners can come out with that fire, that momentum that we saw build in those final moments. That's a good demo pass in field. Predict able to play it aside. Already back and forth here. Neither team really able to make progression on another team. That's a good midfield pass though. Trovy's trying to put it away. Critic just gets that.
Yeah, it was so close. And this is going to be, like I said, the match of the day, but it's going to be this back and forth matchup the whole entire time. It's only going to be what the defense and the offense give them. Def V going to score first here for Kendron and put them up in front of the Toners.
Just misread there by Fergo. Brilliance waiting a little bit too cautiously in net. And Def V does get first strike here in game number 1. Can they continue that momentum? Getting that first goal can be so crucial, especially in a series. Just, you know, calming those nerves of being on stream, being in front of an audience, and now might go around the other way. Fergo trying to get an early attack there, being the aggressor. Not trying to give too much space on the defensive end. Another opportunity played aside. Def V no boost to work with. But Levi does walk away with a huge clear, sending Toners back into their own end.
Yeah, if you ask me, I really believe that the Toners are at a disadvantage right here. You have to think about the team that they just played, the Saints. Not a much slower team, but pretty much where, oh my goodness, Critic almost snuck that one in onto Trophy in the lower 90. But you have to think about how Kendron is going to be such a faster team. Pretty much they have to raise their bar and raise the pace of play than what they were accustomed to this last series. So I really feel like the Toners might take them like a game or two to kind of catch up to speed. Hopefully only a game though, so that this one stays competitive.
I'll have to see if they have what it takes to just, you know, match up to their new opponents in time. Best of fives can be tricky. There's not enough time to really make those adaptations or, you know, try to figure out something new. So now they're stuck in their corner in the side of the Kendron now, looking to try and make a play. Brilliance just wave dashing in his own net, goes for the flip. Troby does manage to get the save aside here. Still in a defensive end, shot on target. Just played aside there, not able to get that one on target. Not what we're used to seeing here from the Toners. Usually their shots have been quite accurate.
Yeah, well, not only that, but we're starting to see some demolitions from them as well. I'm trying to mix it up just a tad bit. I wanted to see Brilliance maybe get some sort of push on the goal line. To maybe open up the door, and I was going to say that as well. A triple commit over towards the offensive end is going to leave that one wide open for Troby to score.
Just that first touch there from Brilliance was quite brilliant, but just that second touch to follow up, getting too far ahead of the ball, and then both teammates wanting to kind of take over and get that position or get that shot on target. That's led to a nice and early 2-goal lead here. Kendron have to be feeling a little bit comfortable here moving forward.
Still lots of game left though, a minute and 45 seconds. Only 2 goals. Toners haven't really had much offense though. Virgo trying to change that. There was only a couple of shots I could think back to that have been relevant in the Toners' favor. But still, not out of this ball game just yet. They see that one decent clear, one transitional offense. Put them right back down by 1. Here comes a shot from Brilliance. Levi's going to keep that one towards midfield. This is going to be awkwardly off the side wall. Levi, nice 50-50. Back to Troby. Troby, another double commitment right there for the Toners, but not going to work out in their favor.
This might work out in their favor though. That's a great touch off the backboard. Follow-up play from Brilliance, puts that one away, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it there, as just another constant attack from the Toners working out well. They get that 1 goal back, and now with a minute to go, can they get the equalizer?
A good play right there. Like I said, there's still a lot of time left. Lots of time left in this ball game for them to come back, and only being down by 1 goal now puts the pressure onto the mindsets of Kendron. This is going to be off the backboard. Virgo has a clean read at that one. Going to be saved away to the right-hand side. Droby quickly gathers this one up towards midfield, and for the most part, oh my goodness, Virgo in a situation does keep that one at bay though.
Back-to-back, both teams having opportunities to score. That one was a great attempt, but a beautiful touch there from Brilliance to keep that out of the net. Now look to send it the other way. Levi to take control. Fergo looks for the pass upfield. Now the pass back in field. What a pass play! No! It's saved across from Levi, and now Toners just have to play it back to their own side of the field. That was it, Whoops. That was what it would have taken to equalize this game. But what a defensive presence there from Kendron.
Final seconds sticking away. Last ditch effort right here for the Toners. Not going to find its mark. It's going to be kept away into the corner. And Kendron hang on, and they take game number 1, 2-1 over the Toners. And like I said beforehand, the only loss to the Toners this season has been Kendron. And so far, that stat line has been staying true. They take game number 1 away from them.
Well, they might just have their number. They might know what it takes to get that win. Because Kendron, they just did so well on the defensive end. They got that goal lead. They let in another one, but after that, they were just solid on defense. They were rotating properly. They knew, okay, we have a goal lead here. We don't need to overcommit. We don't need to, you know, do something amazing on the defensive end. We just need to stay consistent, and that's what got them through some amazing attempts that, against most other teams, would have gone in there if you were the Toners.
Exactly.
So just holding on there in game number 1. Can they look to continue this series Or will the Toners be able to answer back?
And I want to say as well, I want to add to that, the defense, like you said, has just been on points. Levi walking away with 4 saves defensively, taking the MVP spot with no goals from Levi, but still getting the job done, taking the MVP spot for Kendron here in game number 1. But enough about game number 1. Game number 2 is already started and underway. A couple of shots raining through already in favor of the Toners. Not going to find their mark defensively. Still sound is Kendron.
That's a good shot on target. They build quite a strong presence here in the defensive half of Kendron. So many attempts, but none on target just yet. That one was a good opportunity. Another save on the book for Levi here, as Toners look to keep yet another attack present here. Another shot in the midfield. Fergo does get a touch. It's on target. No, they're backboard. They're backwards in there. I don't know what happened there. Levi just manages to get there though.
Levi the savior once again.
Oh
Fergo trying to have the follow-up touch. Troby going to save that one away as well. This is going to lead to I was going to say a counterattack, but I don't think the resources were there for the counterattack. Does suck up 2 members of the offense, though, of the Toners. This one could be trouble. Levi once again saves that one away. And then he does secure that boost as well. So desperately, Kendron need a clear here to get this ball away from them and off of this pressure as well. Virgo has other plans. FV has other plans. Critic firing a shot as well. Not going to find a mark. Hopefully Troby can get something going here, but Virgo has other plans too.
Critic with a good touch to play down to Brilliance, who plays it onto the backboard, trying for the double, gets it, but not in a situation where a teammate can get a follow-up. Great play there from Troby. He stays so close to that, almost carries it all the way through. That first touch there is so difficult for those who don't know, to be able to stay that close to it after getting the flick. Just shows how good some of these players are. Troby pulling out some of those mechanics. Haven't quite able to get a score yet here in game 2. We are at a standstill, but we are just seeing brilliant plays coming out from both teams.
Yeah, so far, man, the back and forth have just been going, and it's been a battle of like the midfield line, which pretty much sets up the offense. But really, it's just been some high-tier Rocket League, and like I said before, this is just what we expected out of this matchup. Kendron doing such a good job keeping the high-powered offense, the team play offense that the Toners are so used to, and they just have so many chances, but there has been a brick wall by the name of Levi in their way. He has himself 3 saves already, still 2 minutes remaining.
Plenty of saves there coming out from Troby as he keeps that one nice and close. Now Brilliance, 1v1, looks for the flick and does so amazingly. A pass over off the backboard of Fergo, saved yet again. This defense is just unmatched right now from Kendron.
I just don't understand how they keep on getting all these saves. I'm just amazed.
Something's got to break in this. Something's got to break. When you're playing this well, there has got to be a crack in your defense at some point, but we're just not seeing it, and it's amazing to see. And, you know, proven as to why this team wants that top spot, wants to make it to the state championships over in Queensland. If they win this match, could be huge for both aspects here. And it seems like they are playing with a drive greater than maybe even just winning the series.
Almost approaching the final 60 seconds here in game number 2. Looking at a potential overtime situation. Kendron definitely want to be in the driver's seat in that one. They want to win this game right here. Force match points onto the Toners. So far, both teams just keeping every shot out of the box. Little to no chances so far from Kendron offensively. There's been a ton of offense though from the Toners. Like I said, the defense just being so sound right now for Kendron. Here comes Troby. Pass that one into the corner. That was going to be taken away and gathered up by the Toners offense. Final 30 seconds. Let's see what can happen.
You're going to have to find a way to break out. All this defense doesn't mean too much if you can't get a goal on the board. There's a flick almost coming out from Troby. That's a good midfield pass shot on target. Levi's there for yet again another save. 4 more saves for Levi in game number 2 here. That could be an opportunity. 1v1, gets the 50 and it finds its way in. No, Levi gets the 5th save. They are doing everything but they can't get past this defense. And if this is all that she wrote, then we will head to a 0-0 OT.
9 saves heading into this overtime matchup from Kendron. Another one gonna rain out. I think Levi doesn't get credited for it, but it is indeed a save. That shot had to be respected. Critic gonna find the angle 10 seconds into OT, and they tie up the series 1-1.
Just gets the angle off the sidewall. The demo clears up net, and they find themselves answering back after game 1, finding themselves in a 0-all situation here. Sorry, 1-all situation. A great turnaround there for the side of Toners. Like, they had all the pressure. You see the shot. I don't even think I can't count on my fingers how many shots
math,
the
15.
Toners had. 15. See, that's why you're here. That's perfect. See, this is why this is the best duo ever. Right? 15 shots on target, and then you see 9 saves coming out from Kendron. So it's like the battle of what's better, a greater offense or a greater defense, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, that's the saying here in NA. You know, offense wins games, defense wins championships. And, you know, so far Kendron has been on fire, but they need to pair that with some sort of offense, because they have just been allowing the Toners, like you said, to just tee off pretty much offensively. They controlled the pace of the game the whole entire time. Toners did. They kept the ball at midfield, if not on the blue half, a majority of that game. And for the most part, Kendron had little to no shots towards net. Only 2 I can see over here from the stat line. So, I mean, they need to have a lot more offense. They did such a good job in game number 1 defensively, but they paired that with the offense. So now they need to take those opportunities away from the Toners and bring that ball back towards the orange half if they have any chance at winning this next game here.
Well, we're tie all. This is game number 3, best of 5. So the winner of this will go on to match point. Can Toners keep this momentum? Can they try and answer back from that week 2 loss against this team? Or can Kendron State, can they try and find some form of offense here to go with their unstoppable defense? We'll have to find out as we're already underway. Great pass infield over to Levi. That's a great counterattack there, using all 3 members up the field. But it is played aside there by Toners.
I want to remind everybody that Kendron was the only team to beat the Toners in this regular season. Troby, I was going to say, in a little bit of trouble. Good save from Def B on the rotation back through. That was such a dangerous touch, and even more of a harder save as well from Def B. Does keep that one out, though, keeping this one 0-0.
Fergo now trying to get this one nice close to the defensive end. That's a good pass upfield as well. Back into the mid. Critic up early. Well met there by Troby to stop that attempt. Time and time again, this defense does not show any sign of making a mistake. Can they turn it into an offense, though? That's a shot on target. That's a great bump from the teammate there, and Def B puts it away.
I was going to say that as well. Def B just floats this one, has the follow-up touch, trusts that Troby is going to get that bump on the goal line, sets it up beautifully. And that's the kind of offense that we need to see from Kendron if they need to move past the Toners. Now they have themselves a 1-0 lead. Lots of time left, so the Toners don't need to panic, especially if you have such a high-caliber offense like you have from the Toners. But going down by 2, you don't want to do that. Brilliance does save that one away, keeping it 1-0 in favor of Kendron.
I just keep looking back to that play, and it just seems to be... It seemed to be the most defensive-looking offensive play I think I've ever seen, if you get what I mean. Like, it's like even their offense still looks like it's relating to how they're playing on defense. But it's working. I love to see the bumps come out. Troby showing almost a bit of veterancy to pull moments like that off, and Critic pulling off moments like that. Double touch to equalize.
I do like what I see from Brilliance and from Virgo, though. You see Brilliance is up. He does get a bump or a little bit of a touch onto Levi, and then you see Virgo as well going up, being a disruptor, and opening the door wide right there for Virgo to punish them. He does just that, ties the ball game right back up. I'm sorry, Critic to do just that. Virgo had the bump, but ties it right back up 1-1 nonetheless.
Can they answer back already? It took so long for Kendron State. It's taken him 7 minutes alone just to get 1 goal. Can they find another one just in 3 minutes? A good touch there by Brilliance up for Fergo. Couldn't find the angle. Now they might have a quick breakaway opportunity here. Well, the defense is running back. Good stop there from Critic. Now, Troby trying to keep this alive. Opportunity is high in the goal square. FB shoots it. It tries to go in, but just out.
Just a little bit of a floater right there from Def B. That one could have found its way in, but just a tad bit off target. And I want to say I do like what I see from Def B as well. He had a chance to maybe touch that one at midfield. Instead, he let Troby kind of advance that one towards the offensive end. So you're starting to see some good communication right there from Kendron, and on top of that, some good decision making too. And more importantly, I wanted to point this out a while ago, but look at that Levi, how Levi hops on that passing lane, and they just shut down some of those lanes so early that it prevents the Toners to push past them and shuts down some of these offensive attacks that the Toners have.
Levi's defensive smart seems to be nearly the best in this lobby, just positioning on the defensive end, knowing, okay, when should I be cutting off this pass play? When should I just be, sitting back post? Seems to just be that real player to look for in terms of, knowing whether you should go or not. As a shot coming out there, and Troby going through, actually face out the player looking for the pass in Fergo. Fergo keeps it alive, but now Levi giving that one up for Def V on the defensive end yet again. Has the patience to read this one, knows with the positioning on the field, it's not too much of a threat and easily able to play it aside. That might be a whiff though, coming out in midfield though. Troby just gets there in time.
Yeah, Def V just definitely, oh no. That was going to be pushed over to the far right-hand side into the corner of the orange side of the field. But Def V definitely had a little bit of a mistake there. Did not get paid just yet. Kendron escapes one. Virgo now at midfield. Only 60 seconds to go. Def V does challenge that one early. Troby should have the follow-up touch here. Advance this one. Good 50-50. Good smarts right there from Troby too. Not to force that one. Just playing this one slow. And for the most part though, like I said, Kendron is in trouble. They've been backed up to their half of the field. This is a chance right now for the Toners to take full advantage of that.
Same story as we had last game here. Just Kendron not able to really break out, get that good offensive target. I want to start seeing some more demos, some more physicality come out. That was a counter-attack. Troby able to stop that one. Goes long. This could be a good counter-attack while the defense is awkward. Brilliance, though, does get a great touchdown field. Just over 15 seconds to go here in this game. We might be seeing another OT.
And we don't want to see OT either. Kendron, it did not work out for them last time. Only 10 seconds they lasted in that game number 2. But we might see that indeed, unless the Toners can get this one done in regulation. This is a good infield pass right here towards Levi. All zeros on the clock now. Brilliance has the ball. That could be a mistake. Troby floats this one towards the left-hand side. As I say, Critic does overtake that one, and it does die towards midfield. So we do see ourselves in game number 3, back-to-back overtimes. Who's this one going to go to is the question.
It's going to be as we said, the battle of the offense versus the battle of the defense. That's an awkward double commit. Levi does opt out of that one early enough to not force that double commit. Levi now with the opportunity in midfield might have an open net and get the flick past one. Levi can do it on defense and do it as well on the offensive end. Levi been crucial for this team's success and yet again taking another MVP medal.
Levi has been everywhere. You asked me who the player to watch was. I wanted to say Levi, but Def V was the player who was on my mind. But it was such a tough ask as to who was going to be the player to watch because, like I said, all three of these players play so well together. They play off of each other. But today it's been Levi who's been the hot hand on defense, and now he gets it done offensively, like you said as well. Walking away with 2 saves in this matchup is probably close to 12 saves in total of these 3 games that we played, which has been absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, for the most part, Kendron, like I said, they were in trouble a lot of that game. The Toners just did not set the pace of play, and they didn't capitalize on some of the opportunities that Kendron presented to them.
And we'll have to see if they can just keep that going. I do like that Levi now able to do it on both ends. We saw Troby's been doing a lot in terms of opening up the net for them to finally get a goal in. Has been going for a few demos, has been trying to open up, that aspect of the play. So now it's just, can they continue it going? Can the Toners kind of break out and start looking to, pull out some more offense and start to be more the aggressors and break this defensive line?
Yeah, we're going to go to a radio broadcast temporarily. I was going to say you guys have to stare at our faces, but we were 20 seconds into this game number 4. nothing really happening too much. Like I said, this is pretty much what's been happening on the pitch. DevB with a great save. Virgo in the predicament. Brilliance as well. Going to float that one. Maybe steal this boost and steal the resources away from Kendron. But at the same time, just the back and forth action we see, and this is what happens when we see two teams that are just so evenly matched. You start to see just like a little bit of like an inch is a mile basically in these matchups. For the most part, I really feel like it's Kendron's, or not Kendron, I'm sorry, it's the Toners' game to lose. I really feel like this offense has been just so prominent for the most part. They just really haven't been shooting accurately. But on top of that, it's been Levi who's been saving them defensively, and now he's getting activated on the offensive end.
As a few times, DevB has done a great pass into the midfield as well. Levi up quick to that one to beat out the defense. Levi, look, when someone says next week to your whoops as to who's the player to look out for, now you definitely know who to say in this team, as well as everyone is getting involved.
No. It's just, I'm telling you, it's just anybody from Kendron. It really is. It's the same thing with the Toners. I mean, you can circle anybody on both of these rosters. It could be them who's going to be the difference maker in this matchup. I really feel like it just boils down to who's going to be the hot hand in this situation. It's similar to like basketball, I guess you could kind of say. You could have the best three-point shooter in the league like Steph Curry or something like that, but if he has an off day, then who are you going to look towards to score some of these goals or be that star player for you?
And it's amazing that you can have those players that can step up into that role and can help lead the team, because you're right, sometimes not everyone is perfect every single game. So it does help to have that player that is able to step up, is able to show off. And then, you know, the next series, Levi, he's having a few troubles with his rotations, and you got players like Troby or DevB who are able to step up and just work well as a team. And, you know, we've spoken about how Toners, they don't go for the flashy solo plays all the time. They are a very team-oriented play style. And it's the same thing on Kendron. Both these teams just play so well together. Everyone getting involved to lead them to victories.
Still a lot of time left for the Toners to come back to this matchup. Approaching that halfway point, though, so usually I like to talk about Rocket League as a tale of two different halves, kind of like halftime in any sporting event. You kind of go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, so what wasn't working? This is the time to implement a change. You know, and for the Toners, I was going to say it has to be now, almost on cue again. The caster curse coming out in favor of the Toners this time as they tie up this ball game. I was going to say they have to do it now because of the fact that Kendron is on match point.
They've got to, and when you're pulling out shots like that, it's got to be looking good here in game number 4. Just to get that angle and to put a crossbar down is filthy to pull that off, and that's yet again another momentum strike there for the side of Toners if they can look to carry on. Or Kendron, now they're the team that has to try and look for another offensive attack here, as they've had trouble with that in the past. Critic now looking for a mid pass, can't quite find it, and now this might be a 1v1 situation, although Fergo doing a great job to not only stop that counter attack but to beat out 2 players in the meantime.
Yeah, so far I'm liking what I'm seeing from Kendron. They're starting to, you know, break past this midfield line with a lot of this possession, but the Toners still, you know, keeping the pressure onto them. But I think it has been a little bit easier for Kendron to push past. DevB sitting in net, does pick up a save and a far shot as well. And you see 2 members. Can this work out? No! What a save from Critic. Doesn't get credited with it. The transition now on the offensive end. Brilliance with a great touch. Does not find its mark. We're going back the other way. This is so close. It's nail-biting.
It's Toners' turn to pull out some of those defensive stops. That was a great play there, but that's not on defense. All 3 members in midfield, no one opting to go for it. DevB says thank you and walks straight through the middle.
Oh man, I think that's a fake as well. I think Troby faked out the defense. I'm not too sure who that was at midfield. It might have been Fergo. I have to catch the replay. I'm not too sure, but still, I think Troby doing that with the awkward side flip as well led to that goal there for DevB. Final 60 seconds now. Kendron up by 1. Can they keep this up? And then pull past pull past Toners again in the 3-1 victory.
This is where they're most comfortable. Right now, they just have to be consistent on the defensive end, which should be no issue for how Kendron has been playing to help walk away. That's not too solid though, as it goes the other way. Doesn't quite find its way into the net. But now they find themselves stuck in their own corner. That's a good 50 in the midfield. Brilliance now looking for a follow-up touch. Levi has to get a clear. Beats Def V over in the midfield. They can get solidly back into their rotations, and as long as these long clears are finding themselves back down onto the Toners' end, they can walk away with the victory here.
Final seconds ticking away. Also, the Toners' first place spot dwindling down with that as well. Kendron playing keep away at this point in time. 3 seconds remaining. Brilliant's last-ditch effort. Pass towards the midfield. That one's going to find its way off the backboard. Here comes Fergo. Still up in the air at 0 seconds. Critic with a shot. Lays it up for Brilliance. Brilliance forces it off the back wall. Critic trying to catch up to it, and he cannot. Kendron is going to hang on and win this matchup 2-1 and push past the Toners once again in a 3-1 fashion.
Toners are, Kendron, sorry, just a thorn in Toners' side. They can't find out what it takes, and just like that, Kendron has made the Queensland State Final. So huge congratulations to them. They have earned their way there. I just can't get over that defense. The rotations, everything was just near perfection. And on the other side, Toners, they were all offense. You know, it was literally the matchup of offense versus defense, and Kendron showing true that a good defense is all you need to take the dub.
That's what we talk about here for American football, you know, NFL style. We always say offense wins games, defense wins championships. You can go against the best offense in the league, against the best defense in the league. Literally, it happened in a couple Super Bowls ago. I think it was back when Peyton Manning was playing for the Broncos. And I think the Broncos had the best defense in the league at the time. So they literally pushed past the best offense in the league, and they won that Super Bowl as well. I mean, that's just if my memory serves right. I'm not too sure.
Now I know why you and Formula get along in the car so well, as you're always talking about the NFL.
I played football. Look at my background. That's what I did. That's what I loved, you know, for 7 years of my life.
I'm not gonna lie. I wish there was more NFL over here. I always wanted to be a quarterback. You know, I always wanted to be that guy. But
I'll block for you. I'll block for you.
Perfect. All right, perfect duo. Okay? We'll see what Gex and Formula, what positions they want to play. We'll make a team. We'll fly you out here. We'll come play. But
you guys gotta serve me some of that Indomie though. That's what I'm trying. That's my selling point right there. You know what I mean?
All right, yeah, perfect. Lifetime supply of Indomie if you come over here and play football with the lads. But what a perfect showing there from Kendron. They yet again take down Toners and also look to, you know, put themselves up there in the matchup, really fighting for that first seed.
Yeah, and it's been a crazy day so far for this Division 1 as well. As you guys look at the streams that happen, or the games that happen today, most of them on stream. If we want to run back through them really quick, we have SPCC Light and Tangy winning over the Saints in a 3-1 fashion, and of course we have SPCC losing to Linwood then in a 3-0 fashion, and then the Toners winning. I think that's a little bit mixed up right there on the screen, the graphic. The Toners won over the Saints in a 3-0, and then they lost to Kendron. Of course, you guys just saw that game, 3-1. But the match is played off stream. You have the Raptors taking on Kendron, losing 0-3. I believe the Raptors were down a player as well, so they're only playing with 2 people. And then the last matchup for the Raptors was just a forfeit against Linwood. So that right there is what happened today in Division 1 play. If we want to take a look at you know, the standings, what happened elsewhere, Division 3 sitting on top of that one is Trinity Esports in a 9-1 victory, or fashion I should say, and they've been pretty much dominating the whole entire season thus far. JPC RL2 in that second place spot, tied of course with Whitebridge, both sitting at 6-4, but JPC RL2, the sister team of the other team in Division 2, JPC 1. But yeah, pretty much Trinity Esports locking down this Division 3. Division 2 though, different story. I want to see where my Watermelon team is, because I've been keeping a close eye on them all season long.
Where's a Watermelon team?
They're it's YVG Watermelon. There they are, second place right there. Still PCS currently sitting undefeated, 8-0. I'm pulling for Watermelon. I want them to win. I love their name.
Hey, another big team. I'm on the train. You've got me. You got me hooked.
I mean, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's my only big team I'm cheering for, is the Watermelon squad. Other than that, it's Queensland's, baby. Let's go. I want to see it win.
You've been talking to Formula Gex too much. And,
exactly.
Yeah,
they've been my right. They've been what's it called? The only two Australians I've been talking to the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you.
Look, my goodness.
We've got a few teams that are going undefeated. A few teams that might be looking to make a run in the higher divisions possibly, and will be very interesting to see. You've got a few teams, maybe even the Barracudas, looking to pick up a win before the end of the season, as well as the two Queensland teams that are actually got a few teams sitting 3-5 there. That is going to be a massive battle for the top 4.
Yeah, Division 2 is really it's, like I said, whoever did the placements and stuff like that, shout out to the match admins and everybody else doing stuff behind the scenes, because the placements really did put everybody as to where they should be. And it's so competitive for the most part. Maybe we can probably flip-flop. Maybe PCS can be bumped up to Div 1 and switch them out with SPCC or whatever it may be. It's arguable. That's the word I'm looking for here. But at the same time, it really is very competitive when it comes down to a lot of the middle ground. You have Kendron, of course, in Division 1, over the Toners, and then you have like the Toners that will beat Linwood, and then Linwood that would beat the Kendron. It's just so crazy when it comes to D1 as well. But I want to thank everybody for being here in the chat, as well as I want to thank our sponsors as well. If we want to point the finger at who we should be thanking, it's definitely going to be Acer Australia, the presenting partner of the high school series, who provide PC technology solutions for all schooling and needs in the classroom and at home. Of course, we have to thank Predator Gaming as well, the gaming PC partner who provide high-end gaming PC focused on PC solutions in both laptop and desktop formats powered by Intel. And of course, AOC Monitors, the gaming monitor partner who provide best-in-class monitor solutions for all our gaming needs.
Yeah, we've talked about them plenty of times. We're going to continue talking about them. Indomie, the noodle partner made with high quality flour and select ingredient and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try one of the flavors available today for your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. As well as Game on Cancer, the charity of choice for AEL, who fund much needed cancer research projects, with the AEL donating a portion of all student participation fees to this life-saving cause. If you'd like to donate as well, please head to the AEL Tiltify campaign page. Scan that barcode and give what you can. A massive, an amazing cause for them. But, we've got to talk a little bit. We've got to see a lot of this Div 1. But yeah, I'm really looking at, there we go. There's the Div 1. We can talk about it now. Everything that's happened today. Kendron, after that win, have actually secured themselves the first seed for at least the end of this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Production is trying to tell me what's going on, but I can't think as to what's going on. I think the Toners. Are the Toners in first place? Is what I was gonna say. I think the Toners are in first place, is what they're trying to say.
Go Vic.
I think that might come down to game differential. Is that the case? Okay, so that's the case. I'm sorry, I was just trying to get clarification, because me and Gex and Max were all talking about this before, where it was going to come down to game differential. It's showing Kendron on top as 6-2, but I think the Toners are in first place, being 6-2, with that 14 game differential in their favor. So I think they're going to secure that first place spot in Division 1.
Hey, I'm happy with that. The Vic team taking the lead, taking the charge. You'd love to see it, but it just goes to show that every game matters. And I love these kind of pool formats where you get to see that, getting a win 3-0 can be so different to getting that 3-1 win. And every game really matters. We got to see Linwood as well. Linwood doing such a good job and really showing up at times. And, Ripley looking for that fourth spot.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate, because Ripley was that team that a couple of us are pulling for as well, because they're on the cusp of being just like such a good team, but they find themselves in that fourth place spot, which is fine. I believe they still do advance and stuff like that, but at the same time, I just wanted to see them succeed and beat Linwood because they have beaten teams beforehand in the past where, you know, they beat Linwood 3-2 before, but then they come back and they lose to Kendron 3-0, which is why you can see as to why they lose to Kendron, because Kendron's beating teams like the Toners. But at the same time, it's just so unfortunate to see them not be at full force today and to fall in default to that 4th place spot, sitting at 4-4 in Division 1. So it's just unfortunate, but let's look forward to next week. I'm not too sure who's going to be with me in the booth. If it's even going to be me in the booth anymore, I have no idea. Maybe I'm fired. Who knows? But at the same time, next week's streams, please, I concede. Next week's streams is going to be, of course, the Toners versus Linwood. And then bouncing right back, of course, is Kendron versus MRC Saints. SPCC taking on Kendron, and the SPCC taking on the Raptor squad as well. So all good matchups. From what you've seen today, Mr. JrTins, what are you kind of circling as your game of the week next week?
Oh, I'm really looking, I think, at that first matchup, possibly. I think it was the Toners versus Linwood. That's going to be a very big one to, you know, I think there's going to be a few matches that will help spice up that, you know, the top 3 all versing each other to see who, you know, can really come out on top. Hopefully not in game differential. I like getting that clear winner because, as spoke about you, is, you know, because, for example, Kendron is what I'm trying to say. They're sitting second to a team that they've beat twice. They've beat them twice, and they're still having to sit low on the backboard, on the leaderboard. So, you know, hopefully we get a few of those teams to really break out and, you know, win by win-loss rather than, you know, having to force down the nitty-gritty of the game differential.
Exactly, the game differential really coming into full effect here, and that's a question we had. You know, it's a question that's been answered, I guess, but at the same time, that's a question for another day as well. So, thank you very much to everybody in the chat. Thank you very much to our lovely, you know, referee for the day, Mr. Bass himself, coming through in clutch. Thank you to Liam as well, the producer. Shout out to you. And thank you to JR, you know, coming in here in the booth with me, Mr. Tins, allowing me to cast with you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I had to pull so many strings to try and get on this cast with you. You have no idea. I've used used everything, all the strings I had in OCA. I finally was able to cast with the amazing whoopsie poo there.
it's whoops you, so everybody's aware. No, I'm just playing, but yeah, I mean, shout out to, you know, everybody in the chat too, man. Thank you guys very, very much for coming through. Special guest, man. I want to shout out Com's dad in the chat from V1 himself, as I'm wearing a V1 jersey. It was not planned, was not scripted. I promise you guys that, for the most part, and all my friends in chat too. I love you guys. Thank you guys very, very much for being here. Any final words, Tins?
Just nothing. Thanks for having me. It's always been a good. I was here for season 1 of the high school league, and it's good to see just the level of competition that we're now sitting at. And it's really good to see. And look, you've got me hooked now. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this 3-way tie we got at the top.
Well, hopefully when you see some of these guys in the future, you're going to think back to this moment, like, yeah, I remember seeing that guy in the
I was there first.
I saw Matthew. I saw him hit that flip reset penta or something. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate you guys so very, very much. Until next week, we'll see you next time.